Think about this. You could pay off loans, pay down a mortgage, save the money for retirement, donate to charity. That would be a big deal. But you know what? Here's the best thing. MediShare works. It has 250,000 members, and it's growing fast. With MediShare, not only do you save, you don't have to pay for things you don't believe in either, and that is a beautiful thing too. So here's how you can find out more, and you might actually wind up saving even more than $500 a month. So check into it. Here's the number. Call 844-91-BIBLE. That's 844-91-BIBLE. Now available in Montana. Call 844-91-BIBLE.
Good afternoon, everyone. You are listening to AM 1080 KSEO Santa Cruz, AM 1340 KOMY La Selva Beach, Watsonville. The time is now 2:06. We've got a quick look at traffic and weather. Not much as far as traffic goes. Your major roadways looking good right now. CHP reporting no major incidents at this time. So we'll move on to weather. Your forecast for this afternoon, mostly sunny. High should be around 73 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy. Lows will be around 51 degrees. Your Monterey Bay boaters forecast for tonight includes a small craft advisory. West winds 15 to 25 knots, becoming northwest 5 to 15 knots after midnight. Wind waves 3 to 5 feet. Northwest swells 3 to 5 feet at 13 seconds. 68 degrees outside KSCO studios. The time now 2:06. Up next on your favorite radio station, it's Hour 1 of the Dr. Future Show.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. Ladies and gentlemen, KSCO presents the Dr. Future Show. If you would like to join in our show today, you can call us at 831-479-1080. That's 831-479-1080. And now, your host, Dr. Future.
Happy Future Tuesday, everyone. Wonderful day in Santa Cruz here. It's actually getting warmer down here. It was chilly for a bit, but when we left Boulder Creek, it was in the high 70s.
It does not get more gorgeous than
Down
this.
66 here now.
I hope everybody's out there with an opportunity to enjoy this glorious day in Santa Cruz.
It's true.
Sunshine. Oh,
Yes, that's true.
thank you, Mr. Downer.
No, that's not Downer. That's a celebration of
D-Day.
an important event in our
A
history.
day that will live in infamy.
No, that was December 7th.
Yes, this is the
June
end
6th.
of that war.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
not quite.
Beginning of the end.
The
Beginning of the end, right.
Yeah, there you
D-Day
go.
then.
All right.
The longest day.
Do you want to introduce our
Yes.
our pessimistic guest?
Must
No,
I?
I'm not pessimistic.
You're right. You're not
I'm just
pessimistic.
depressed.
Oh, there you go. You're right. There's a big difference. You're permanently pessimistic.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not usually this way.
But you do have a good sense of humor. Thank goodness.
And
Redeeming
a smooth
qualities.
voice.
Yeah, Taylor Barcroft. We used to call him Taylor Barcode.
No, don't say
No,
that.
don't say that, right, because he
You're
was such a
broadcasting.
geek. Such a
Yes,
geek.
well, many of our friends are nerds. We're not ashamed to say it. In
Yeah.
fact, we're kind of nerds ourselves. So
Kinda, sorta,
what are you going to
maybe.
do? It's a term of endearment, Taylor.
Yeah, yeah. And Taylor is here this fine Tuesday to bring us up to speed on all things Apple after their big announcements yesterday.
He's our Apple guy. He's
Yeah.
got his Apple cap on.
He's got the latest issue of Wired with the picture of the Apple spaceship on the cover.
Yeah, hey, that thing is getting close. We drove by the other day. It's looking like a real building. It's looking like a real spaceship.
$5 billion donut
That's right.
being built even as we speak.
You can see it from outer space. Like, it's going to be iconic for centuries to come. If
Bigger
all
than the
goes well.
Pentagon.
Uh-huh.
Interesting building.
That's right. We're switching over from the 5-pointed star to the circle as the symbol of the future.
Yeah, so it's coming along. And we have some interesting stories. We're gonna talk about Apple starting at about 2:30 and all the big announcements that they had yesterday. It was quite a scene.
That was the longest Apple keynote ever.
From
2 hours
Ever.
and 20
I
minutes.
couldn't believe it. I was pacing.
Yeah, and it was jam-packed with info.
Yeah, I know we have a lot to share.
All
with
right,
you on
we're
that.
going to go there, but not right away because it's,
Yeah,
there's
after
so much
the
to
news
say.
at 2:30.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about some other things that are at the top of the news right now. One of which was that the space news. We're going to get a little space news out of here.
Okay,
Out the
Dr.
door.
Future, what is the latest in space?
Well, one is there was some awesome photos of SpaceX's Dragon launch and rocket landing this weekend. Spectacular photos. We have it on our links page, drfutureshow.com/links. We saw on Saturday the California company SpaceX launched a reused Dragon capsule for the first time. That's actually a reused capsule. Kind of
Okay,
like a
yeah, the
space
capsule. I was a little confused about that at first. The capsule is
Not
the
the booster
nose
rocket, yeah.
of the rocket.
The nose.
And ultimately, that's where the people get to stay
That's right.
during their
That's right.
flights.
And when they launch people, that's what they'll be in, the
Right.
capsule.
But it's not allowed yet.
No, it's being used for cargo. They're still kind of
testing it.
testing it. And this is a reused one. The second
right.
time it's been used.
All right,
They
second
al-
trip to the space station.
Yep. And what they have done previously, SpaceX has reused the booster rocket, which is the
The Falcon.
first stage,
Isn't
the
that
big
so?
Magua that gets it up there, the big
So-
Magumba that gets it up towards orbit.
Okay, so the Falcon boosts the Dragon to space.
That's right.
It's how mythic.
It uses it's a two-stage Falcon 9 rocket.
And I think it's very appropriate that they named the crew capsule the Dragon because in myth, the dragons protect the treasure.
They do.
They do.
Yeah. In this case, they also contain the treasure. It's all the cargo for the space station.
That's right.
This was also the 100th mission to take place from the historic Launch Complex 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida. That pad served as the jumping-off point for the agency's Apollo moon missions and the space shuttle's flights.
Wow.
And now SpaceX has signed a 20-year contract to use the launch pad 39A back in 2014. So it's theirs now for a while.
All right. Go SpaceX.
Yeah. So also they did this latest trip up. Also reused the booster. The booster landed, making a pinpoint vertical touchdown back at Cape Canaveral this weekend as well. So not only they did both. They reused the booster and they're reusing the capsule. So
There
it's
you
making space
go.
much cheaper, folks.
And it's making history because space is only attainable if we don't have to rebuild the entire rocket every single time.
right. It's only makes sense. Why should we?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Especially if we can.
And it's a testimonial to how far we've come with design and understanding materials and knowing about the launch and recovery process and coming back into Earth and not burning it all up.
So the capsule delivered 6,000 pounds of stuff
Yeah.
to the ISS. That's a lot of scientific experiments, hardware, food, gear, that sort of thing. And the capsule will stay attached to the station for about a month, and then it returns to the Earth for a soft ocean splashdown.
Mm-hmm.
That's its final trajectory, shall we say.
Oh, okay. So the capsules don't get to do the pinpoint landing that the boosters do. They just get to splash down.
The Falcon 9 first stage booster is designed to fly 10 times total with no hardware changes, and at least 100 times with a little bit of refurbishment.
Cool. All right. Just an oil change and back up to space.
Yeah, right. So that's a little bit of the space scene. Also, not to be outdone, India launched its most muscular rocket yet.
Oh, boy. India's flexing their space muscles.
They
huh?
are. They're getting into the game. The Indian Space Agency debuted a massive rocket Monday, that's yesterday, launching it from the southeastern barrier island of Sri Harikota. And they were launching a geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle. That's for geosynchronous sats. That's the stuff that goes way up there, the 23,000 mile height, where you have satellites that basically hover above a particular part of the Earth.
And so I understand it's going to be improving their internet a lot. I wonder if it's going to give India their own GPS.
I think you need a whole bunch of low Earth orbit stuff for GPS. It's not a geosynchronous thing to have GPS. You need lots of satellites at
All right.
a couple hundred miles.
Well, we're going to go to a break now that we know that India's internet system is going to have a big boost, and we'll be back for all you listeners there and everywhere to the Dr. Future Show. Stay tuned.
It's time for a new vehicle. Folks, Michael Olson here with Jeff of Longshot Auto Sales. Jeff, tell us how Longshot Auto Sales makes buying a vehicle easy.
It's simple, Michael. We save our clients time, money, and lots of work by negotiating the best deal on any new or used vehicle they want at no extra charge. We get internet fleet pricing, which is better than AAA or Costco pricing by a long shot. We can negotiate better prices than our clients can negotiate for themselves.
Any vehicle?
Yes, any new or used vehicle. And we work with 95% of all the dealers to get the right vehicle at the right price.
Guaranteed best price and service?
Guaranteed. Just Google search Longshot Auto Sales and see what our clients have to say about our service.
Folks, when you need a new vehicle, save time, money, and lots of work, go to longshotAutosales.com and fill out the car finder form. That's longshotAutosales.com. Get the best deal by a long shot.
This is the Veterans Take Charge Radio Show. This Sunday and every Sunday from 16 to 1800 right here on AM 1080 KSCO.
I just want to give you guys props because you guys are doing some really beautiful work, super cool work for veterans. It's awesome what you're doing. Really, really is. You guys should get syndicated.
We're working on it.
Oh, good. Good. Are you seriously? Are you pulling my leg? I can't.
Oh, absolutely. We're trying to get worldwide, man.
You are, because you're talented, and you're smart, you're funny, and you're doing a seriously good service. So props to you. I love it. Take charge. I love that.
But I read at the top of your website, it says, take charge of your biochemistry through foods and supplements.
I love that idea. I love that idea of taking charge. You know, and this is what we're talking about here today, this whole idea of PTSD.
Check out the archive at zbsradio.com. That's zbsradio.com.
We are on Facebook, facebook.com/KSCO Vets this Sunday and every Sunday from 16 to 1800 right here on AM 1080 KSCO.
Think about all those things you feel. Just be glad to be here.
Welcome back to the Dr. Future Show. It's also quite interesting that the AI AlphaGo defeated the world's top Go player 3 times in a row.
Uh-oh. Watch out, humanity. Computers are getting smarter. They can beat us at every single game that used to be fun for people.
AlphaGo, 3-game match against Qi Ji, the world's top Go player, at the Future of Go Summit in China, in Wuzhen, China. So what do they do now? Okay, so now we have an AI that can play Go. Whoop-de-doo, right? I mean,
yeah.
What's Go?
Hold on, she's got to turn that up again.
He's up.
Yes,
oh.
No, she
what's
had
Go?
She had you down. What's Go? Go's a game, man. Game gets kind of like checkers, Chinese style.
Go.
I'll pass.
Let's see. You put rocks in little pockets, and it's kind of a conquest game where you try and take over all of the.
You mean virtual rocks in virtual pockets, right?
Yeah. Well, no, actually, it's a real board game. They have, I guess, they have a computer version of it in order to.
Nice.
Yeah, you see, so for the computers to play. But it's not the end of their work with the Go community, says the researchers. They want to publish one final academic paper later this year that details the extensive set of improvements they made to their algorithm's efficiency, so that they can look at how it could be generalized to work across a broader set of problems. Yeah. So yeah, I think we're going to move from game to game initially, and then they're going to try their hand at some other more complicated things. What I'm excited about with the AI is when they can start doing real governance, real politics. Maybe not politics. Politics is the realm of human psychology and governance, but the idea of actually running infrastructure. More and more AIs are capable of dealing with the basic stuff there that humans are not too happy about doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the grunt work, if you will.
So that's what gaming gives you a skill set for, or that's what gaming gives a computer.
Well, it's training.
Set
It's
for?
training to think of solving problems, and if anything, governance has a lot of problems.
Oh, there you go. Hey, if we could turn governance over to an AI,
That's what I'm
and
thinking.
treat it as a game where you optimize human satisfaction, for instance.
Yeah, we need to get an AI running for like city dog catcher. You know, start with something basic and work its way up into a higher echelons. But
I don't think an AI can catch a dog.
robots. It would be
enough.
it would be AI robots. That would.
I don't know.
No?
I think dogs would probably steer clear of robots.
Well,
They don't
what do you
seem to
think
even
then?
like robotic balls.
Where
and,
should we
you know.
start our AI at a councilman, city councilman?
There you go. Yeah, maybe. Maybe the AIs can replace the city council. That would be funny.
Well, I wouldn't say the council. I'm saying initially it would be helpful to a city councilman as his aide, kind of a smart Siri kind of deal.
Oh, no replacement, augmentation.
Yeah,
Got it.
initially, and
Got
then,
it. Okay.
and see where we can take it. How far can it go? Judge, maybe?
Okay.
No?
Sure.
Something to consider as
I think we've had some articles about in England they have AIs that are replacing lawyers and that are telling people how to get out of traffic tickets.
There was
and
RoboCop.
that are helping immigrants to know exactly what the laws are regarding their refugee status and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the AIs are definitely at least making information available to select groups who can use it.
Well, they certainly are good at driving cars, as we're about to find out en masse. So we know they have some pragmatic skills along those lines. But let's see what kind of jobs they can do for us.
Right. Yeah, more information. Okay, in terms of driving cars, you're talking about collision detection or avoidance, stuff like that.
Autonomous vehicles.
Autonomous vehicles, right. I saw an article today that was apparently San Francisco is investigating whether or not Uber and Lyft are public nuisances.
I don't. City Council in San Francisco saying things like that, and then they're finding it a nuisance to do a Summer of Love party in the Golden Gate Park on its 50th anniversary. I mean, what's wrong with them? They don't want to do. They don't want to celebrate certain things. They're fear-based.
Oh yeah, they don't like the
little bit.
colorful history of San Francisco. So much for the
Or somebody doesn't.
spirit of
I don't know.
freedom.
You know.
Right. If they're working in the city council, they're trying to clamp down.
Yeah, I don't think the AIs would do that. I think they're.
Wouldn't occur to them.
You know what's really strange is that the AIs are, in a way, the independent of. Well, they're both manipulatable, but completely beyond manipulation at the same time. That's the paradox.
Right. They're only capable of doing what they've been programmed to do, but they can do that so well that you can't get them to do anything else. So you better only program to do those things that don't annoy humans. That's my advice. Program the AIs to do things that humans can't wait for more of.
Yeah.
Take over the chores, take out the trash, mow the lawn. What else?
Well, right now they're like Apple is reportedly developing a dedicated AI chip for the iPhone. They might be even calling it the Apple Neural Engine.
Oh, really? And what
Yeah.
is that supposed to do?
It would power AI-related tasks on your phone or your iPad. It would be called the Apple Neural Engine. It would be used to offload tasks that require sophisticated algorithms, mostly related to facial and speech recognition, augmented reality tasks that rely heavily on computer vision.
Oh, so they'll help you remember the name of that person you just talked to at the party.
They could do that. They could do that. They could improve your battery life, which is always appreciated.
Right.
And they could, overall improve performance. It's not clear exactly how they'll make their way into devices this year, but Apple's already started testing future iPhone prototypes with the chip, and the goal, I guess, would be to separate the most computationally intensive tasks from the iPhone's processor and graphics chip. Sort of similar to how Apple's using distinct chips now to power their like motion sensing.
Well, how is it
across the
different
device
from the
lines.
other stuff Apple's already doing? I mean, when you call it a neural net, it makes me think that it's going to measure something in the nerves, but
No, it's going to solve problems. Like, you know how it used to be a pain in the butt to wirelessly sync Bluetooth and stuff like that?
It
They'll
still
make
is.
They'll make it much easier.
It
Or
seems like the
Wi-Fi.
devices haven't learned to fall in love yet, you know?
Configuring Wi-Fi's, you know, I mean, it used to be harder than it is. Anyway, this chip would help them to, like the AirPods, to sync wirelessly with the iPhone effortlessly.
Oh, okay. So the neural net is going to have a wider range of devices that it likes and is willing to play with. Is that how it works?
And just say to do it, and it'll do it. It'll be a smarter, thing where
I feel like Apple is really trying to play catch up to Alexa. Like, we know that you can get your music played and you can have access to Wikipedia. And, you know, Siri is still a little dicey in terms of answering questions with any kind of intelligence.
Oh, well, we're going to talk about it a little bit this in the next segment in more detail, right, Taylor?
HomePods.
There you go. Keyword, HomePods.
Yeah. I think they're painting a vision of the future, but will it work? You know, they tend to be good at marketing.
No, it's been reviewed. They've been reviewed already.
Oh, okay.
They're
So we'll hear about
way
that.
better.
Now, Apple definitely does not release stuff until it's pretty baked.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
They're
not
too big to do it.
Yeah, you're talking
prematurely.
more Android. Android stuff is more half-baked
Oh,
when stuff comes out. Yeah, wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe you.
And they stay half baked. They never get better.
Which why Apple is superior in many ways. But that's just an opinion.
Just an opinion.
Yes. You're still stuck in a walled garden, though.
That looks really interesting, the AI chip. Wow.
Yeah, you hadn't heard about that, eh?
No, I hadn't heard about that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how they use it. They certainly have enough people now to mull over these issues.
Well, they talked a lot about AI during the keynote.
They did, and we'll go in more about that. They have some more pragmatic updates.
Well, it seems like everybody, I mean, they did it Facebook too. I mean,
Yeah.
Facebook basically said that they're going to treat the phone as the AI venue for everything. So I think that's Silicon Valley right now. They're kind of inserting a new layer into every device.
They
which
called
is
it
your
machine
AI
learning.
augmented.
Machine learning that's going to be done inside the phone, locally. So it's going to know your habits.
Right.
And it's going to be predictive in terms of what you're trying to do next.
Yeah, I definitely got flashes of Minority Report and walking through malls, and as the mall saw your phone come up, it would say, "Hi, how you doing? Don't you want this product?" I mean, it's a nightmare in my opinion, but okay.
I agree.
Well, you know, it's kind of like the early days
It's a
of the
mixed
Mac.
bag is what it is.
Yeah, the early days of the Mac when you had hundreds of fonts and you know to choose from, and people used a dozen fonts in one letter. Remember those days?
Oh, yeah.
I-
You know, so
I
this-
was guilty.
Yeah.
Guilty as charged.
I want the AI to ask me which things I would like the notifications turned off of. And I would like it to be very responsive to me being annoyed and saying, never again. You know, put the control back in my hand instead of some doofus who's getting paid to interrupt me.
Well, I think that's what their intention is with
I
the
hope so.
machine learning.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Well, listen, guess what?
It's time.
It's time.
All right, now we actually officially will talk about Apple.
So should we go in the
After the
order?
break.
CBS News,
I
bye.
recommend.
Gotta
Oh,
go.
it's CBS
Okay.
Ben
News.
Fuchs
Okay.
here. I've been studying healthy bodies for 35 years, and what I've got to tell you may shock and surprise you, but if you listen up, it may change your life. Hormones. We hear the word all the time. When it comes to health and longevity, no aspect of our biochemistry is more relevant than the efficient and effective functioning of the hormones. The study of the hormones dates back 4,000 years to the ancient Chinese who used extracted substances, today thought to be sex hormones, from urine, and used them medicinally to improve health and longevity. Later on, Indian physicians and their Greek and Roman counterparts recommended the use of seaweed to treat neck swelling, which we now know to be related to the condition of the thyroid. Our modern understanding of these essential and powerful biochemicals began in the late 19th century, when the famous neurologist Charles Braun-Sachard injected himself with a mixture of ground-up, hormone-rich dog testicles and reported a marked improvement in his strength, stamina, and ability to concentrate. Although there's over 25 principal hormones produced in the various glands, from a physical perspective, there are two major control points for all of them: what we eat and how we breathe. In other words, every morsel of food that enters our mouths and every molecule of air that passes into our lungs and into our blood exerts an effect, for better or worse, on our hormones. That means that no matter what our health issues are, by paying attention to digestion and dietary choices and healthy respiration, hormonal health, and ultimately all the markers of our overall well-being can be optimized. Pharmacist Ben here, urging you to go to kscohealth.com to order Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the Healthy Start Pack, and other nutritional supplements that I personally use and recommend. You can purchase these premium quality products at wholesale prices online at kscohealth.com. That's kscohealth.com. I'm the pharmacist that believes that staying healthy and strong is not only about medicine, it's about giving your body the raw materials it needs to do its work. Go to kscohealth.com. Make sure you check out the cool videos too at kscohealth.com. That's kscohealth.com.
CBS News Update. She is chief among the many accusers of Bill Cosby, and Andrea Constant took the stand at his sexual assault trial today. KYW reporter Jim Millward.
She says she went to visit Bill Cosby at his Elkins Park home and to discuss her career, changes in her career. He encouraged her to take pills, to take what he called her friends to make her feel better, less stressed, then led her to a couch, groped her.
The mother of Kelly Johnson, who told a similar story, took the stand to bolster her daughter's testimony. CBS's DeMarco Morgan reports.
Johnson's mother, Dr. Patricia Sewell, testified she witnessed her daughter in a depressed and emotional state after she says that Johnson told her about the alleged assault, saying Cosby invited her to his hotel for lunch and allegedly drugged and sexually assaulted her. At one point, even becoming emotional while on the stand.
Cosby's charged with drugging and assaulting Constant in 2004. CBS News Update, I'm Pam Coulter.
Free medical care for everyone. No insurance or ID required. Life Hope Centers is providing dental, medical, vision care absolutely free Saturday and Sunday, June 10th and 11th. Go to 1931 Soquel, San Jose Road in Soquel between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. Patients are seen on a first-come, first-served basis. Life Hope Centers is a humanitarian effort of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. For more details, including free transportation options, call 559-347-3142.
The following message is brought to you by local realtor Mike Hess with Keller Williams here in Santa Cruz.
Buying or selling a home is one of the most important financial decisions you will ever make. Whether you are a first-time home buyer or an experienced investor, you need someone in your corner working for you and protecting your assets. Let me be that someone. I'm Mike Hess. Call me direct, 831-713-7723, or visit me on the web, mrhess.kw.com. I will be in your corner. I will protect your assets. Let's make it happen.
Recently on Good Morning Monterey Bay.
Okay, well, I have Neil. I want to say, morning, Neil. Oh, really good. You're doing that well, are you? Good. And how's the surf? Oh, no. Is it? That's fantastic. I'm so glad to hear it. And tell me, how is the snow up in Lake Tahoe? Oh, that's really good.
Neil.
Look, 1 out of 3. He got 1 out of 3. And it isn't...
I'm texting him now. Let's all text him nonstop.
Neil, are you there?
I would...
Yes, what? It's so funny that he's just not there.
Wake up to your surf report on Good Morning Monterey Bay, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. on KSCO.
Celebrate Central Coast local heroes. Join the Central Coast leaders and the American Red Cross of the Central Coast as we honor local Monterey, San Benito, and Santa Cruz County heroes whose actions exemplify the true spirit of heroism through their courage, dedication, and character at the 13th Annual Central Coast Heroes Breakfast on Friday, June 16, 2017 at 8 o'clock in the morning at Twin Lakes Church in Aptos. The Heroes Breakfast raises money for the life-saving programs and services provided by your local Red Cross chapter. Visit www.redcross.org/CC Heroes 2017 for more information. And let's all celebrate Central Coast local heroes at the 13th Annual Central Coast Heroes Breakfast on Friday, June 16, 2017 at 8 o'clock in the morning at Twin Lakes Church in Aptos.
Yes, the Alan Parsons Project. I first heard that music when working on an Apple project. Well, actually, it was a Steve Wozniak project back in '82, the US Festival.
Wow.
Was it 1982?
Back in '82, yes.
No, it was 1882.
Yeah,
Taylor.
that was the Wild West.
Dr. Future time travels.
It was
so
Doc
does Alan
Brown.
Parsons.
Yeah, it was when it first came out, the early '80s. That particular piece of music, and we were building weird stuff back then.
Okay.
So anyway, back to the present. You mentioned what's WWDC?
Yeah, you can get a
That's
WWDC app that's free.
Okay,
that
tell
lets
everyone
you
what
watch
WWDC
sessions.
is for the uninitiated.
It's the Worldwide Developer Conference that Apple holds annually in the first week of June. And for the past 15 years, it's been in San Francisco, but they moved it to San Jose this time.
And why is it a big deal?
It's the only time in the year that thousands of developers come together from all over the world.
These are the makers of the Apple world.
Yeah, it's like
right?
6,000 allowed.
Yeah.
And it's a lottery to get in. You can't just buy tickets anymore.
So the stream becomes even more important today.
You apply for the ticket, and then they do a lottery to decide who gets to come.
So as a result, they're still full, but they have streams of the
there's
sessions.
People from like 60 countries or something like that.
So you can watch online though, so you don't have to go to San Francisco to participate, right?
It's San Jose.
San Jose.
Okay. They have a WWDC app that lets you watch sessions live, and you can download some of them too. It's not everything, but it's enough to keep you busy.
You have to be a
for the week.
developer to watch?
No, anybody. It's just an app. It's a free app that you download and you can start using without any kind of registration or anything.
So if someone wanted to plug into the developers, what would they search for in the App Store?
It's the name of the app is WWDC.
Oh, so Worldwide Developer Conference.
Yeah, you don't do it that way. WWDC.
Just WWDC in the App Store. And
in the App
off it
Store.
goes.
It's
Okay.
downloadable.
Nice. And then you get a choice of.
Or just
what
go to
sessions you wanna
apple.com to
listen
see the keynote.
The keynote would be the key because that's where.
So
Tim
let's
Cook
move on.
introduced what we're about to talk
TVOS.
about.
We're almost out of time. TVOS.
No, we're not. We're fine.
Amazon Prime Video in the fall, and a few other things. Everybody should watch the video because we can't talk about a 2-hour, 20-minute keynote in 20 minutes.
No.
So everybody watch the video. If you care at all, you got to watch the video of this keynote because it's dense.
Well, we watched. Mrs. Future and I watched.
We
it,
did, and it was. I agree. It was very dense, and but it was dense in the way that Apple's dense, where their big feature is that they've redesigned the operating system and they're really rolling out AI in everything.
AI and
so
machine intelligence, and also that they're doing the 64. Everything's going to be 64-bit from a year from now. It
'Cause
must
right now-
must be. They're going to remove all 32-bit apps
Yeah.
by next June.
So we're upgrading from 32 to 64-bit processors.
Well, we have had 64-bit processors since MacBook Air, but they're just finally eliminating
The iPads
the
are 64-bit also. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, since iPad Air, or
And
Air one, the first
and
iPad Air was
iPhone
like 20.
6.
Was that 2013, something like that?
I don't know.
Yeah, 2013, 2014. That's when the switchover happened. Older gear won't be able to be upgraded.
Yeah, you can't even get iOS 11 on a 5 or a 5S. You've got to have at least an iPhone 6, 6S, or
That
6
was
or 7,
2014.
and plus across those three.
Yeah.
So
Huh.
anyway, that's the biggest news is they're getting rid of all the 32-bit apps, and it's the Watch OS 4, new faces, Toy Story faces, connect to gym equipment. Yeah, so you got the most popular gym equipment is going to be iWatch OS 4 compliant, so that the gym equipment will transmit its information to the watch, and the watch will transmit its information to the equipment.
Oh, I missed that. That's kind of cool.
That's kind of like the treadmills and the bicycles.
You guys really watched the whole thing?
Well, I did. She was in the kitchen doing the dishes.
Okay.
so-
All right.
I watched and listened, but I can't sit
Anyway,
still
that's
for
a big
2.5
deal.
hours to watch
They've
that.
got like 20 equipment manufacturers signed up to do this Watch OS 4 integration. It's
symmetrical,
and they're communicating both ways.
Mhm.
So you got an accurate heartbeat from the watch, you got an accurate speed on the equipment,
Yeah, so your equipment and your watch are starting
They
to
compare notes.
to
yeah, and everything shows up on the watch.
conspire to help you, hopefully.
That's good.
And there's
yeah,
other-
because I tell you, a lot of the stuff that Apple measures on me, Alan and I will take the same walk, and he will get at least 1,000 more steps than I will. So
you got to recalibrate your watch.
She's tried doing
No,
that.
there
She's
is a
got
way
in
to
there,
do that.
How long is your stride? You know, they ask you questions like that if you want to tweak it.
Yeah.
And-
Well, I tweaked it a little. You know, I gave it the real data, and it's still off. So
Okay, well, don't worry about it.
Well, that's because I have an iPhone.
You're still
and-
getting your exercise.
and a watch.
So you
Apple
have
Watch.
two devices that are talking
Yeah,
to
and I
each
get
other,
extra
and I
bonus
just have
points
one.
because I have extra devices.
See?
Yeah.
So they give you so just that's how it works in the Apple world. The more Apple products that you buy that they know that you bought, because they're tracking all your devices from like that central ID representing you in the
Well,
cloud.
maybe it's more accurate because I have two
Your-
devices.
Your
Mrs.
Apple
Fisher.
ID is
Maybe it's
sending
more
out
accurate, and
a little tendril
hence I'm
to
getting
each
more steps,
device
and
and,
it's-
saying,
I earned
"Oh,
it."
Alan's phone."
Well, you
agrees
guys really
with
know how to
Alan's
get off
watch."
topic. Then there was the Mac
It's our
OS
show, dude.
13.
Slow down.
Okay,
High
you know what?
Sierra.
We're way less boring. Sorry.
All right.
Did you notice that as long as you're going to
Oh,
pretend that
she,
you're
Mrs.
a
Future,
reader,
has cut him
if
down.
you are going to act like a machine learning device, then I'm going to mute you because you're a human being. I know, because I
feminine
didn't like you
force is in
reading.
charge here, dude. Watch
Don't
out.
read. Talk. Hello, there's people listening. They can read themselves. They can go to a link and read. You have to talk.
Okay, so what do you want to say? What's the?
I just wanted to say that the new Mac operating system is called High Sierra.
Yeah.
It's the 13th, and and they've updated all the Macs with Intel Kaby Lake processors, and they start at really low, like $1,000, and they go up to $5,000 for the iMac Pro that they previewed with up to 18 cores of Xeon processing and 128
that's
gigabytes
enough.
of RAM.
That's enough technical details for the moment.
Okay.
Let's
Put a
just
pause in it.
reflect. Yeah,
Pause
reflect
button.
on that a little bit because we're talking high-end processing here, right? We're talking pretty powerful.
Yeah, it looks like there's not going to be another Mac Pro. Looks like the iMac Pro is going to replace the Mac Pro.
Cool. That's when I'll get my next iMac.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be a miracle.
what
And
I
there's
And-
augmented reality
Well, that's
developing
it.
on there
Now,
too.
the new iMac will then also be able to be powerful enough not to do augmented reality and virtual reality, right? That's
well,
one of
yeah,
its-
even the top of the line regular iMac, you don't have to wait till December to do that. This augmented reality software is
it's going to work with the
out now
high-end
already.
gear that's currently available.
Right. Well, no, the new stuff.
Well,
brand new
you know,
stuff.
I've been able to use the Unity engine on my Mac, on my MacBook Pro.
That's the
But
VR
it's kind of
creation
clunky.
language.
It's a little clunky.
Well, they overhauled everything. The MacBook Pros, the MacBooks, the iMacs, everything is new. Do you want to move on to the iOS 11?
Well, yeah. Let's first of all let's say that we're all using iOS 10 right now.
Right.
Right.
10.3 point something.
Yeah. And so this will be coming out now for developers and in the fall for the rest of us. Is that the timetable?
Yeah, there's a beta. Well, you can get a beta at the end of the month if you want to fool around
yeah,
with it
if you want to
ahead
be
of
a
time.
developer. And it's got a lot of interesting features that will affect our day-to-day behavior. Like one thing that's caught a lot of people's attention was the idea that you wouldn't be able to text while driving. Now, can you explain more about what that actually is?
That's if you're in CarPlay mode.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily required. You can defeat that.
Yeah, so you can turn that on or off as a feature.
Yeah, although you're not supposed to text while you're driving. It's against the law.
Well, the idea is
You
that
don't want to break the law.
No, I think it causes a lot of deaths. It's a big problem.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
had
gonna
an
be-
accident
yeah,
that way
it's-
before the iPhone even existed. I
Yeah.
was texting somebody and
Well, something has to be done. So Apple's trying an approach here, and we'll
Right.
see. They probably have to tweak it a little bit.
Yeah.
But the idea is that if you want to send a text to someone while they're driving, the only way to get through on this mode is put an urgency on the text.
Yeah.
So you can actually tag text that will go through. Otherwise, it will bounce all texts with a pre-programmed message saying, "I'm driving right now."
Right.
Or whatever you want, I
That's
guess.
right.
Yeah. So it's like an answering machine for your text.
And then also the
while you're driving.
iPad 4s are excluded from iOS 11, and the iPhone 5 and 5S are excluded from iOS 11. So it's only 6, 6S, and 7.
The 6
iPhones.
phones, 6 and 7 phones, and whatever comes
6 and
next
6S
will
and
be.
7, yeah.
That's the bottom line. So the 5Ss are now cut off.
Yeah, so iPad Air is the bottom of iOS 11 now instead of iPad 4.
Yeah, like again, 2013 technology.
No, there are 32-bit processors in there, and the operating system can't deal with it anymore.
Right.
It's
It's
a
just a
fully
natural upgrade.
64-bit
Sure.
necessary processor, and then we have the iPad Pro. That's new, all new and improved.
That's the high-end portable computer, right? That's
there's a 10.
Well, that was the iPad Pro.
So they're dropping the 9.7-inch iPad. They still have the 9.7-inch entry-level model.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay.
But the Pros are going 10.5-inch and 12-inch.
Yeah, before they were 9.5 and 12-inch.
12.9, I think, isn't it?
12.9, yeah. So I understand that this new iPad is almost a desktop replacement.
Yeah, you can have up to half
Or
a
laptop
gig storage, and we don't know how much system RAM is in them. So that's an unknown right now. We'll find out when they do reviews next week.
Yeah.
Shall we go to a break?
Yeah, let's go to a break. We were just talking about the revelations of the Apple
With
show.
Taylor Barcroft, Dr. Future Show.
The Santa Cruz Art of Guitar exhibit and festival begins June 2nd with events scheduled through July 15th, celebrating the unique creativity of the many world-renowned guitar makers and players who make Santa Cruz County their home. For more information on the exhibits, concerts, and open studios, go to the website santacruzluthiers.org or call Maggie at 1-800-262-8858.
The way I understand it, this person came into your home and stole all of your radios,
Every radio I had to my name.
including transistors.
Yes. Well, he left me one earplug, I'll say that for him.
Well, did he take anything else?
Just the radios, and a couple of pieces of fruit.
I see. Well, what...
A banana and 2 Cadota figs. I
What-
don't deny him the fruit.
No. Are you and your husband going to replace the radios?
Well, we'll have to. Arthur is late for work because he has no radio to keep reminding him of the time and traffic conditions. I have nothing to keep me company while I work around the house.
I can imagine.
We have a 10-room house. We had a radio in every room.
Then he stole all 10 radios.
11.
11.
He also stole the car.
Who listens to radio? Only 150 million people. That's all.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Happy Tuesday.
The sky is yours.
Future Tuesday. We have a caller, Mrs. Future. You want to bring on the caller?
Sure. Let's say hello to Michael. Hi, Michael. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Michael.
Well, thank you very much for taking my call.
Sure.
Read an interesting article in the Wall Street Journal that mentioned a Bill Gates analogy for technology upgrades, in which he used the example of radial tires. So, before radial tires, you had to change your tires every 12,000 miles.
Yeah.
But with radial tires, you could go 44,000 miles, which was really great for people driving around, but not so good for car manufacturers of tires, right?
Not so many tires, right?
Now, I'm running here with my iPhone 7, or maybe it's a 6. I don't know which it is. But at any rate, I don't think I need an upgrade, do I?
Why would you want to upgrade? Well, there are always shiny new things in the future.
Depends on if it's a 6 or a 7.
The longer you wait, the more you get.
Is there a microphone jack on the bottom of your iPhone?
Yeah, I guess he does have a microphone. Do you have a microphone jack? Do you use that anymore, or is that?
Microphone jack. Let me look.
I guess you don't use it.
Yes, I do.
Okay, that'd be a 6 or a success.
Yeah. Huh.
Okay. So why do I need an 8?
Well, virtual reality for one thing.
We're not talking about the phone yet. That's still
That's
that's
the
in
iPad,
September.
right? Oh,
I know,
We're
but I
talk-
don't want to buy a 7.
By the phone. Why
an
you'd
8
get the phone? Okay, well that's a good fair question. What do you say, Taylor? What's
He wants to buy a 7?
Oh.
Why would he upgrade? Why
I
if he
wouldn't
had a
wait-
6? Why would he?
I'll take it on the air. Thank you.
Okay.
Well,
Thanks,
I wouldn't.
Michael.
I wouldn't buy a 7 or a 7 Plus right now because it's only a few months till we get the 7S and the 7S plus the 8. There's going to be 3 choices in the fall, according to the rumors.
So if you wait until November, you'll get more bang for your buck.
Yeah, well,
right now
they'll be
it's
announced in
just
September, so you can.
September.
And then you can get in the queue and wait a few months to get through the queue.
So the bottom line is, if you've got an iPhone 6 or better
6S
till now,
which is what he's got.
Don't
That's what I
don't
have. What about a
bother
6S Plus?
rushing to upgrade.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't do it now because it's the end of the year.
Mhm.
Only
Yeah, but my
3 months
contract's
left.
up. I'm eligible for an upgrade. I don't want to stick with my old phone. I'm
No,
back
but
to
you
the
don't-
future.
No, you use Popcorn and run it for free. You don't need the Freedom Pop, brother.
Okay.
Tell us about. Let's talk about the iPhone. What did they say about the iPhone? And first of all, you're saying it's not even going to be around.
No, they
till
don't talk
November
about
anyway.
the iPhone at WWDC. They only talk about the operating system.
Right.
There's not. They're not going to. That's a September thing.
Yeah, they're not going to announce the details of that.
No.
But the rumors suggest that the iPhone 8 coming out will be special. It's a 10-year anniversary, man.
Well, who
It's
knows?
Don't you think? I mean, come on, 10 years. They're going to do something.
I
really...
think that I have the iPhone 7 and I have all the previous models going all the way back to 3GS. I sold my 3G.
Okay, so you've experienced the whole Megillah.
Yeah, and I think the 7 is quite a bit better than the 6S because it holds twice as much storage capacity.
More storage. The
And
main
its
advantage,
processor is about twice as fast.
Do you
as
notice
the one
any
on the
differences in
6S.
your phone calls or texting, though? I mean, processor, what would affect your game playing on the phone, right?
Well, I'm not a gamer. I don't care
No.
about
So
that.
So how has the processor mattered?
No, it's storage capacity is the big deal. 256 on the new iPad Pros. They go to 512 on the storage.
Oh, yeah. I agree
I'm
with
big
you
on
storage.
getting the big
Yeah.
storage thing.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
what I like about it.
Yeah. So getting the big storage is.
Yeah, I'm already over half full.
Yeah.
On a 256. So if I bought in a 128, I would have already been deciding what to delete.
Oh, to be in all fairness, so the Android people say that's one of the reasons why they're Android, because you could have interchangeable storage micro
that's-
SD cards.
Forget that.
Just pull them in and out.
Anyway, what about HomePods?
Is that what you feel is?
Well, we're down to the
okay.
last 5 minutes, so.
Okay. All right. That's true.
Yeah, the
Okay,
HomePod
that is an important.
really, they're getting great.
announcement.
The HomePod's getting rave reviews for sound quality. It has 7 tweeters, a 4-inch woofer, and it has 6 microphones. So when the music's playing, it can still hear you when you ask Siri to tell you something like who wrote this song, who's the drummer in this song. It's going to answer crazy esoteric
You gonna
questions
spend
like that.
350 bucks?
Huh?
Can,
No, 700 for a pair
so I ask you this then: Can Siri hear? Can the new Siri hear
per room.
Can the new what's it called? By the way, it's not Siri. It's called.
Yeah, it's Siri.
HomePod. HomePod.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Can
the
the
thing is a HomePod.
Siri-enabled HomePod
Yeah.
hear whispers at a party?
Well, I don't know about that, but it's supposed to hear you pretty good. It's got 6 speakers arrayed around.
So here's you. You know, if you address Siri, said, "Hey Siri," and then ask a question, even in a room filled with sound, it will understand you.
That's what Apple says. I don't really care because I don't use Siri. I'm not going to talk to a
You don't do
piece
that?
of hardware.
You don't have an Alexa.
You,
you don't have Alexa?
haven't discovered the joys of talking to your computers yet, which
Oh, okay.
we discovered with Alexa. I have to say.
Oh, you guys have
I
an
gave
Alexa?
Siri lots and lots of chances.
Is someone serving you and always
My
in
dear
a
husband sometimes seemed to like
positive
Siri
way?
better than me, but I found out she was kind of dumb.
Who is Alexa? Is that
she's
Amazon?
dumb, but-
It's Amazon.
But she's dumb, but the new Apple shape really looks good. You know, it looks. I mean, it
And
almost
plus, they
looks-
changed the voices. Siri's voices, male and female, are both new and different and more
Yeah,
human sounding.
we actually covered an article about the changes in voice modulation that's going where the new way that digital audio is handled is where people speaking, that sound file is turned into a phonetic alphabet, and then that phonetic alphabet is used in this Adobe software to be able to type something in as a regular English word, and then the phonemes will be used to compose an audio file from what you type, and then those phonemes will be modulated with algorithms of human voices. So that's what they showed us, is the new Siri being able to say a word in 3 different ways. Like, how's the weather going to be?
Right.
Sunny, sunny, and sunny. Right? That's the big upgrade.
One of the big upgrades would be to program the AI in your own voice.
Jeez, I don't know where you guys have the time to think about stuff like that. Don't you watch too much? I have to watch a lot of television. I'm sorry.
No, we've kind of stopped watching television.
Well, here's the thing: most people will not choose their own voice for their assistant. They will choose some voice they really like to be around all the time. Your personal assistant should be a voice that you love to hear.
I don't like to hear the sound of my voice.
No, so it wouldn't be you. You're not narcissistic enough for that.
No.
But others might be. In which case, the self
it'd be good for President Trump.
Voice for your AI would make all the sense in the world.
No, he tweets. He likes to see the fingertip.
Kofefi.
I think you should have a choice. Myself.
Of listening to yourself or...
Anyway, everybody's got to check out
I would give my AI multiple voices depending on the nature of the message. If it was a really important one, I'd have a cop voice, that's talking to me about somebody about to break into my house or something, and warning me. I want different voices for different things that might happen.
So for the listener that was calling with the iPhone 6 or 6S, wait till September and watch that presentation. You may need that much computing power to take advantage of the iOS 11 features. There's a lot of that require a lot of computing power locally on the phone.
What are you most excited about in the upcoming release? Like, what will you try first when you get your upgrade? Any idea?
No, I really don't. There's AirPlay 2. We forgot to talk about AirPlay 2.
Oh, let's talk about AirPlay 2.
That's going to be AirPlaying to multiple locations simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
So you can control the music in your bedroom, and the music in your living room, and the music in your kitchen, all separately controllable
from one app,
in one AirPlay stream.
Really, you can kind of think of this developer conference as the first one where the AI is really being presented as the solution to
they're offering a lot of new development kits that are going to really make a difference.
That's what I say. It's just a matter of time before they run for office, I tell you.
So right now what you can do is walk from room to room in your house and put in a whole bunch of devices that will recognize your phone, and as you walk into the room, they will play your music.
Oh, yeah, that's
the
HomeKit.
Monitor your heart.
That's the HomeKit. All there's a lot of home appliances.
They'll call 911 if you collapse. I mean,
it's crazy. There's about 20 different types of objects that you have in your home now that are compatible.
They'll take care of your thermostat.
Yeah, they're compatible with HomeKit.
Entertainment devices.
Yeah, you pull in the driveway and all your lights suddenly go
on. You can
have
a doorbell and see who's at the door.
They just make life better.
Make it more automated.
More complicated anyway.
Totally more complicated.
But is there a price for all this?
I mean, if you're
listening...
complication. It's mind-boggling.
Privacy, perhaps? Privacy, maybe that's the price.
Privacy. Yeah, I've given up on privacy a long time ago.
Yeah, I see.
Oh, you heard it here.
What's privacy? Yeah, I guess the kids wondered about that today. Well, what's privacy given the way things are? Did you know that it turns out that our computers are sending out a lot of data all the time somewhere, like to Microsoft or Apple, just constantly?
Oh, anyway. This is news? I thought you knew that. Hasn't that been happening for a long time?
Well, in new and exciting ways. Anyway, we'll talk more after the break. And Taylor, thank you so much. If you want to stick around and talk about some other things.
Oh, okay.
Don't
forget the next one's in September.
The next big announcement.
That's for the iPhone,
year, right?
That's the iPhone.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's going to be the big one. I think I'm going to get that one. I don't know what it is yet, but
the 8.
Yeah.
You're going to skip 7.
Yeah, I'm totally going to skip 7, man.
7S.
Go right to 8.
I'm probably going to go straight to 8 too.
We'll be back after CBS News, Traffic and Weather with Dave Michaels. This is the Dr. Future
Thanks for
Show.
having me.
Thanks, Taylor. KSCO, Santa Cruz.
CBS News, I'm Pam Coulter. Bill Cosby's chief accuser took the stand at his sexual assault trial today. CBS's Matt Piper is covering the trial in suburban Philadelphia.
Accuser Andrea Constand has taken the stand on this second day of the Bill Cosby trial. Constand claims that after a 16-month friendship with Cosby, he gave her 3 blue pills and wine one night in his Pennsylvania home. She says within 20 minutes she felt weak and helpless on a couch. Constand says when she came to, Cosby was grabbing her private parts and having her touch his. She says she wanted him to stop, but she was not able to stop him. She woke up around 4 a.m. the next morning and left.
The nation's opioid crisis is keenly felt in central Georgia.
Over the last 48 hours, we have had more than a dozen cases of opioid overdose appear in the emergency rooms.
Dr. Chris Hendry of Navicent Health says at least 2 of the people have died from overdosing on some kind of opioid street drug. The pills are said to be yellow, possibly Percocet, and laced with other drugs. President Trump has criticized his own Justice Department for its handling of his revised travel ban, and he's said to be none too happy with Attorney General Jeff Sessions. CBS's Major Garrett says there was a sign of that at today's White House briefing.
For Sean Spicer to stand at the podium and not directly answer whether the President of the United States retains confidence in not only his Attorney General, but one of his earliest political allies, tells you that the tension between this president and the Attorney General is real.
Fired FBI Director James Comey will stick to the facts and not allege obstruction of justice when he testifies before the Senate Intelligence Committee on Thursday. President Trump was asked about the hearing today.
President, what message do you have to Jim Comey ahead of his testimony?
I wish him luck.
Have you gotten any unwanted calls from the Dish Network? Well, they're paying a heavy price for those calls.
Dish Network has been hit with the largest ever penalty for telemarketing abuses. The case went to trial early last year, but the judge just recently issued her opinion saying that Dish Network violated the Do Not Call law, repeatedly contacting customers on the list through robocalls and other means. She said that a $280 million penalty was appropriate, as Dish had racked up millions and millions of violations and continued to deny responsibility. Paula Reed, CBS News, the Justice Department.
More belt tightening for a major retailer. Sears plans to close 72 more stores on top of the 180 that have been announced this year. Wealthy Saudi arms dealer Adnan Khashoggi, who was implicated in the Iran-Contra affair, has died at 81. He'd suffered from Parkinson's disease. The Dow was off 48 points today, NASDAQ down 20. This is CBS News.
Ransomware is software that can infiltrate your business through email, enabling cyber criminals to hijack sensitive information as ransom for your own data's release. Leveraging Barracuda email security with advanced threat detection can stop a ransomware attack in its tracks. As an added measure, Barracuda Backup allows you to recover your data without having to surrender to extortion. Crime doesn't pay when you protect your business data with Barracuda. Go to barracuda.com/ransomware to learn more.
This is Charles Husby. Olivet Nazarene University believes that an education unlocks a person's potential. They believe an educated person has a positive impact on his or her community. They believe that education is not something to be contained, but imparted to the world. They believe in you. Learn more at graduate.olivet.edu. Olivet Nazarene University. From where you are to where you will be.
Amazon is going after low-income shoppers. CBS's Jason Brooks.
Amazon's not going to quietly sit by while Walmart ramps up its online shopping efforts in order to try and catch up to the e-commerce leader. Amazon's offering people on government assistance discounted Prime memberships at $5.99 a month, compared to the regular fee of $99 per year or $10.99 a month for those not paying the lump sum. Walmart's long counted on low-income shoppers, posting $13 billion in sales in 2016 from customers using the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program.
HBO is sticking with Bill Maher after his use of the N-word on his show Real Time, but someone who used to be a comedian is not. Minnesota Senator Al Franken is skipping a planned appearance on the show this coming Friday. He said Maher's use of the racial slur in describing himself was inappropriate and offensive. Georgetown sociology professor Michael Eric Dyson, an African-American, will fill in. Pam Coulter, CBS News.
Ooh, get the stinky dog away from me. DINOVITE.com.
Order a 90-day supply of Dinovite for your dog this week.
We'll send you a bottle of NomoFlea free.
NomoFlea flea spray kills fleas safely with no poison.
Because it's a polypeptide protein molecule made from
vegetable oil.
Try NomoFlea.
Free this week at Dinovite.com.
Everything we tried failed except the Dinovite. DINOVITE.com.
This is Charles Husband. Olivet Nazarene University believes that an education unlocks a person's potential. They believe an educated person has a positive impact on his or her community. They believe that education is not something to be contained, but imparted to the world. They believe in you. Learn more at graduate.olivet.edu. Olivet Nazarene University. From where you are to where you will be.
Good afternoon, everyone. You're listening to AM 1080 KSCO Santa Cruz, AM 1340 KOMY LaSalvia Beach, Watsonville. The time is now 3:06. We've got a quick traffic update and weather forecast for you. We'll start off with your weather forecast. This afternoon, we're expecting mostly sunny conditions. Highs should be around 73 degrees tonight. Partly cloudy. Lows will be around 51 degrees. Tomorrow, pretty much like today, sunny and warm. Highs will be in the lower to mid-70s. A small craft advisory out on the Monterey Bay tonight, as well as west winds, 15 to 25 knots, becoming northwest 5 to 15 knots after midnight. Wind waves 3 to 5 feet, and northwest swells 3 to 5 feet as well at 13 seconds. The time now 3:06 as we move on to traffic. Highway 1 southbound, stop and go from the Fishhook all the way to about Park Avenue. Northbound traffic slow moving as well as you pass 41st. Both directions at 41st down to about 5 miles per hour. 475-1080 with your traffic reports. 69 degrees outside KSCO Studios. A beautiful day to head down here and pick up your Youngevity products. Healthy Start Packs BTT. We've got it ready to go. The time now 3:07. Coming up next on your favorite radio station, it's hour 2 of the Dr. Future Show.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. Ladies and gentlemen, KSCO presents the Dr. Future Show. If you would like to join in our show today, you can call us at 831-479-1080. That's 831-479-1080. And now, your host, Dr. Future.
Hey, folks, welcome back to the show. Yeah, thank you, Taylor, for talking to us about the latest Apple updates. I always appreciate your input. I'm glad you're going to be around for a little bit to answer any questions or comment on some other stories that are coming in.
Thank you, Al.
You bet. And I just wanted to say that, Apple Universe has been part of my world since the early 80s. And I must say, it's vaster than, say, the Star Wars universe or Star Trek, for that matter, because it's more real. And it involves a lot of interesting people and a lot of stories and a lot of history and how it's affecting the world.
There you go. It's the Think Different generation, and it's kind of the big Pac-Man of computers gobbling all other media. And speaking of all other media, we have MZ on the line.
Yes.
Who has some interesting news about traditional media.
Hey,
Hi,
MZ, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, geez, I called in to talk to you guys privately about KSCO-SF and set up a time, and Son says, do you want to talk about what you just heard on the news? And I sort of do, actually.
Well, I checked it, and it's something about Dish being hit with a $280 million fine for illegal robocalls. Is that it?
Yeah. That's what I just heard on the news on KSCO, CBS News, while I was waiting on hold for you guys.
And so, what do you know about it, Dr. Future?
How
Give us
can
some
you,
details.
Well, I just pulled it up myself, but perhaps, MZ, you've thought about it a little bit longer. Can you explain the basics scenario?
There's a do not call list. There has been for many, many years now.
Oh, yeah, we registered on that.
Now, what does that do?
A long time ago, and apparently Dish Network was accused of thumbing their noses at that do not call list and paying no attention to it and calling people that were on the do not call list.
Oh.
Now, I'm particularly irritated because at least once an hour, I'm not exaggerating, I get calls that to my cell phone that that are sales calls And it's gotten to the point where if I see an area code and a phone number that I don't recognize, I don't bother to answer. And 9 out of 10 times there's no voicemail because they don't leave voicemails, when you're calling illicitly. When you're not
Yeah, me
calling,
too.
you're not
I
supposed to.
I use the block caller all the time. If I get a phone call that is not a real call, I immediately put them on the block caller list, my own.
And I was thinking of doing that. I have done it, but it hasn't helped because they use different phone numbers every time. They just
They're they're really like pirates almost, the way they're trying to get into you.
They're wily.
Wily,
And
yeah.
If that's true, if I heard that correctly, and I was listening very carefully because I had just a minute before received yet another. Presumably, I didn't answer it, but I refused the phone call. Presumably, an illicit, call that I shouldn't have received. And then I'm waiting for you, and I hear this news story, and I say, yeah, that's great. That's great. So,
I heard another.
Nothing against this Dish Network except that they are doing what they shouldn't be doing. And apparently this is something that's been going on for a couple of years, and the judge, a female judge, just today apparently ruled on it.
Wow, interesting. So, I heard, speaking of wily behavior in this arena, I heard of another law case where they're trying to petition the FCC, I guess, who's regulating all this, to allow the robocalls to go directly to your answering service and skip actually talking to you live.
Wouldn't that be great if they had to have a call registration service? If you're a robocall, you have to go through like robocall traffic control. That is a very good use for AIs.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know what advantage they see by going right to our recordings, but it sounds like a new strategy.
Well, because it doesn't have to ring. We don't have to be interrupted.
But we can look at it later.
It's sort of like a spam
They'll still get our attention for a few seconds.
No, they'll just imagine that they're getting our attention. Yeah. They'll get just as little as they ever do, but it won't annoy us.
What do you think, MZ?
Over the years, I've thought that there's nothing lower in the world than a drunk driver, and I still believe that. But an unauthorized, violator of the do not call list is getting close. Although it doesn't, it's not deadly. It's not going to hurt me like a drunk driver can hurt me or maim me.
They're in different leagues.
Yeah, so it's a little more acceptable.
Really, I sort of, I find the older I get, the more I feel that people who do bad things should be executed.
Oh boy, I bet the seriousness of the crimes is getting a little closer to annoyance instead of danger as well.
What about excommunicated? I mean, if you take someone's phone away, they've kind of been exiled in a way.
Ooh, that's a punishment fitting the crime.
You think?
Wow, I never thought of that.
Yes, sentenced to no phone for 2 years.
Ooh, that would cure a lot of distracted driving.
How do you enforce it? I mean, how do you...
You have a detector on you that it detects if you're using a phone, even if it lasts more than 2 or 3 minutes, then you're violating your probation.
We're still in the Wild West of cell phones. I mean, I think there's a lot of room for some new sheriffs in town.
Yeah, a whole new level of legality is forming before our very eyes.
Yeah.
Especially as we bring in AIs to help, move the traffic around more efficiently.
Is Taylor still there?
He is. He's ready to answer anything. Mr. All Things Apple here. Anything you have in that realm, he's ready.
Hi, Taylor. Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything right now. I'm sure I'll think of something after I hang up. But I'm sorry I missed the first hour. I got the last 2 or 3 minutes. And I said, that sounds like Taylor.
Oh, just go to apple.com and you can watch the video for 2 hours and 20 minutes. You'll love it.
Yeah. I think MZ, you'd probably like the pod, the HomePod.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's a new super smart device that looks like a speaker.
It is a speaker. It's got a 4-inch subwoofer and 7 tweeters and 6 microphones. It's a really unique, small, compact device.
Yeah, and it can hear you at a party, and it can answer you. It can recognize different voices. It can change voices. It's a part. It's the AI. It's an advanced Siri AI as part of this too. So it's really interesting.
I'm hearing music.
Yeah, it means we got to go to a break. Do you want to hold on, MZ, or were you feel complete?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
All right, we'll be back.
Learn something.
All right, hold on.
Future Show.
We've all stopped in an airport restaurant for a quick bite on the way to catch a plane, right? Well, Ella's is the airport restaurant where people from throughout Central California go just to enjoy an incredible meal. Ella, how do you get people to travel to the Watsonville Airport just to enjoy the food?
The wood-fired pizza is kind of our feather in the cap, you would say, of our restaurant at the airport. We moved our beautiful Mugnini wood-fired pizza oven in there laboriously, put it in, broke doors down. From there, we cemented that beautiful machine in there, and it's really nice because our customers can actually see the food being made because we created a window for them to see the pizza station, see the pizza maker in action, and they're flipping pizzas or they're putting our chicken wings in there. It's really a great opportunity to see food made. The kids love it. They love to see the fire going. It's pretty special.
Ella's at the Watsonville Airport.
Does your business do shipping and receiving? Or maybe you're packing up to move across town? Coast Paper and Supply meets all your needs at affordable prices. We have boxes of all shapes and sizes, as well as a variety of packing tape and tape guns. For your fragile items, we carry bubble wrap, shipping peanuts, and Astrofoam. Shipping in bulk, we carry pallets and pallet wrap. You can find Coast Paper and Supply at 151 Josephine Street or at coastpapersupplyinc.com. You can also call us at 831-423-3350.
On the next Off the Lip radio program, we're giving Neil's voice a rest. Instead, it's the Soquel High Jazz Band. That's Tuesday night on the Off the Lip radio program beginning at 7 p.m. on KSCO.
Welcome back to the Dr. Future Show. We have MZ on the line and Taylor Barcroft in the studio. I just wanted to say, I just heard today about how Jack O'Neill passed, and one of our local people, icons
really,
of industry, businessman, inventor,
O'Neill,
inventor of the wetsuit,
surfing,
and my mother too.
Yeah,
and we lost Taylor's mom.
She made it to 102 months.
Yeah,
really?
That's right. And your mother just died 2 weeks ago.
She made it a long way.
Yeah.
Wow.
102.
Yeah, a lot of that going around these days.
Yeah, MZ lost
his lost your mom last year.
Ago.
Yeah. I tried to get Jack O'Neill on the Saturday special about 8 or 10 years ago, and he had just had a stroke, it turned out, back then.
Oh, wow.
And he called me. He was a real gentleman. He called me and he says, "Look, I really appreciate," and he wasn't slurring or anything. He just said, I don't feel up to it right now. Maybe when I'm feeling better sometime in the future, but that never came. So, yeah. Oh boy, yeah. So,
boy, Santa Cruz turns a page, huh?
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, I was listening to the break.
Yeah.
And hearing all these great commercials. How could you hear that Ella's at the airport restaurant ad and not want to stop what you're doing and run out there and try the rest?
I feel that way every time I hear Ella.
I think Ella should have the first drone delivery for the restaurants in the area. I mean, being at the airport and all, we're ready for the.
Talk to her about that. I mean, really, you guys talked about amazing things on the Dr. Future show.
Yeah, drone delivery for Ella's specials.
Let's have a Dr. Future outreach to the community.
See where the future can help us all create more prosperity and abundance in our community. And not create angst on the radio like all this right wing, left wing politics crap. Yeah,
that's what I don't want. I don't want this KSCO-SF. We are going to do it. We don't know how successful we're going to be, but we sure don't want to have more of the same crap on it.
No, there's a lot of amazing things going on. There are
what's that?
Stuff.
What's KSCO-SF?
Yeah.
It's our attempt to bring independent quality media to the Bay Area from Santa Cruz. and if it works in the Bay Area, then we'll take it elsewhere. So it's just a pipe dream right now, Taylor, but it's something that I'm really devoted to, and I know Al and Son are, and there are other people at the radio station who are actually getting excited about it. I've never been able to get anybody at KSCO excited about anything except KSCO, but now, you know, we're working on expanding the footprint.
We're going north.
Yeah. No, you've got the ideal place there in San Francisco to throw some very wonderful events.
And we are
little
looking forward to
soirees.
being there and inviting people and having fun with the.
Yeah, but we gotta. I'm talking to Jonty about the stream now and
Mhm.
what would fit. You know, that because we already have, you know, an infrastructure at KSCO. Some of our shows, and yours included, absolutely, you know, should be included, and there's going to be a 24/7, you know, schedule.
Oh, you know what I was
of
thinking?
program.
Yeah, all kinds
programs
of stuff. Yeah.
There's a lot of things, and we're going to use KOMY apparently as the, you know, as the basis for everything. Now, KOMY.
Are you going to have a medical
only-
marijuana section?
We have a medical marijuana show.
We have a show already.
We already have a
Oh,
show.
good.
Cannabis.
I've got an idea for you, MZ. A KSCO SF Salon, where you bring together people on a particular topic, maybe for different shows, could have little salons in SF and bring together SF people who know about that topic.
Let's call
as
it
part of the
SF
mix.
Salon.
And they'd have a wonderful little party up at your place there, and do a live radio show talking about their field of common interest.
With a live stream onto different kinds of internet
and then
media.
It could be here, or it could be at any one of the venues using the remote broadcast.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, it's true. You could take it anywhere if you want. If you have another venue you'd prefer, or one of the people's venues, why not? Yeah,
Sure.
that's the ultimate flexibility.
And I think every program should be on remote. Who needs a facility? Who needs a radio broadcast station anymore when you've got Comrex machines and, you know, B-Link
Well, I
you know,
think
software?
So many ways to play.
There's still a role for a station. It just changes. But it's kind of like the nucleus of a cell. There's still a nucleus.
The nucleus, exactly. The
Station is the club.
A lot of
It's the
things
clubhouse.
going on outside the nucleus.
Yeah. Beyond the membrane.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we've got Wendy from Ben Lomond calling. She wants to say a little something about social media.
Okay.
Are you going to stay on,
okay.
MZ?
Yeah, I
You
think
stay with us?
sounds like
if I'm wanted, I'll.
You're
I'll
welcome.
stay.
You're part of social media, as far as I know.
Absolutely. That's what our show is for. Hosting the
Put it on your
conversation.
phone.
So here I'm going to lock you in. Boom. And I'm going to go and say hi to Wendy in Ben Lomond. Hi, Wendy. Welcome to the show.
Oh, well, I'm so glad that you're bringing up the broader aspects of, you know, making KSCO, you know, bring in a lot of other types of media. And I wanted to, say a wonderful thing about Jack O'Neill. And, you know, even though he was, you know, quite older, you know how social media is. You don't know exactly who you're dealing with on when you go to like the O'Neill website on the Big F, the Zuckerberg universe. And I posted an East Side beach photo, and it became like this U.S. Open of how much you know about the beaches on the east side of Santa Cruz. And it was so much fun. And, you know, it's something that, you know, just about anyone and you know, the collections that they had were amazing. And it is, you know, it isn't that big a step to kind of make a local, you know, KSCO where you can post small audios and have message boards, that type of thing.
So you have listener multimedia feedback.
I think that it's just it's the next step, absolutely, especially in this area where we pretty much tell the world.
We talked about that with Dave Michaels here, who's the, you know, engineer in charge even right now. And I've asked him. I said, "Gee, why don't we promote Facebook instead of us?" And he said, "Because Facebook has a better user interface where it's so easy for people to post stuff, and it's sort of hard for people to post stuff on on KSCO.com. So it would be nice to change that.
Well, let's
or
see.
maybe we could just work with it. Maybe just work with Facebook, and if you can't lick them, join them. Just use them to the extent that you can.
Yeah, I had to give up.
Way more than we have.
Yeah, I gave up Facebook because they wanted that mobile phone number, and I, as you were saying, it was something I wanted to keep my own. If you get those on those lists, you can't drive anywhere without being pummeled with telemarketing calls and things like that. And I think Facebook has everybody, and it's almost too big. You can't search for anything anymore. You can search for large organizations, but the small town friend type of thing, it's been lost. There's just not enough variables to look for.
Well, it looks like KSCO Santa Cruz Facebook page has stuff people have added. It looks some pretty fun stuff. Drawings, self-portraits in front of the mirror.
Well, and you can thank Dave and Ben, the Flight 1080 crew, for that, because they promote it.
3D screw portraits that blind people can see. Wow. And it looks like you can add stuff to it too. I don't know how open their permissions are, but
well, never think that it's the end of the universe. As Dr. Future was saying, I go back as a very young early Apple programmer in early original BASIC when you had line numbers.
Integer or before BASIC? Integer and BASIC. I remember there were two BASICs.
Yeah. Well, I was in high school, so I could actually.
AppleSoft and ROM. Remember that?
AppleSoft and ROM, yes, and a 16 megabyte extension board.
Mia,
I
go back.
was just happy to be on it.
Hey, I want to just throw a little.
Kilobyte.
I want to join in here,
Kilobyte.
but I'm a little slightly different generation because
Kilobyte, you're right.
I go back to the do you use spaces or tabs generation. Like Silicon Valley. I don't know if you've seen them.
Future.
Anyway,
Do
fine.
you remember
Spaces.
Does Dr. Future remember
Tabs.
our logouts for the Santa Cruz Apple users group?
The logouts
were
for
you
the.
were you part of that? Yeah, I
No,
know,
but I did. But I did have my shoebox full of Apple discs. The little diskettes. Where you'd use a clipper and clip them and turn them over and use the other side for twice the data.
Right. Made Mr. Logic rest in peace here. He produced a lot of stuff too on cassette that made Wozniak himself flip out. He couldn't believe that software could make his invention do some things that he couldn't even imagine.
It's infinite. I made Garfield talk. I did low res graphics, one line at a time, 1 pixel each, and then had a scrolling, Garfield statements. And I'm sure if my high school teacher had shown it, I would have gotten on nailed on copyright. But it's the sky's the limit. I think we forget that. We say things like, "Well, Zuckerberg's got it. He's got it done." It's like, no. Every social media is a media and a social. And it's a different party. It's people wanting to do things and interact in different ways, and I don't think there's anything wrong with expanding those variables.
Absolutely. And by the way, what voice did you choose for Garfield?
Actually, it was just text. I wasn't that advanced. I mean, I was on the original Apple II.
The Apple II. Oh yeah.
Really? Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
that's what we were.
Yeah, I remember a Turkey in the Straw. It's great graphics and that stuff.
Yeah, that was Apple Vision that Bob Bishop.
That's right. That was awesome. That was over the top.
Hey, I want to let everybody know we're 15 seconds away from our CBS News break.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Wendy. Appreciate
Bye-bye.
your call. Bye for now.
All right, everybody. Thanks. This is the Dr. Future Show, and we've got MZ on the line. We've got Taylor in the studio. We had Wendy sharing some memories, and here we go with the.
Hi, registered pharmacist Ben Fuchs here. I've been studying healthy bodies for 35 years, and what I've got to tell you may shock and surprise you, but if you listen up, it may change your life. Hormones. We hear the word all the time. When it comes to health and longevity, no aspect of our biochemistry is more relevant than the efficient and effective functioning of the hormones. The study of the hormones dates back 4,000 years to the ancient Chinese who used extracted substances, today thought to be sex hormones, from urine, and used them medicinally to improve health and longevity. Later on, Indian physicians and their Greek and Roman counterparts recommended the use of seaweed to treat neck swelling, which we now know to be related to the condition of the thyroid. Our modern understanding of these essential and powerful biochemicals began in the late 19th century, when the famous neurologist Charles Braun-Sachard injected himself with a mixture of ground-up, hormone-rich dog testicles and reported a marked improvement in his strength, stamina, and ability to concentrate. Although there's over 25 principal hormones produced in the various glands, from a physical perspective, there are two major control points for all of them: what we eat and how we breathe. In other words, every morsel of food that enters our mouths and every molecule of air that passes into our lungs and into our blood exerts an effect, for better or worse, on our hormones. That means that no matter what our health issues are, by paying attention to digestion and dietary choices and healthy respiration, hormonal health, and ultimately all the markers of our overall well-being can be optimized. Pharmacist Ben here, urging you to go to kscohealth.com to order Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the Healthy Start Pack, and other nutritional supplements that I personally use and recommend. You can purchase these premium quality products at wholesale prices online at kscohealth.com. That's kscohealth.com. I'm the pharmacist that believes that staying healthy and strong is not only about medicine, it's about giving your body the raw materials it needs to do its work. Go to kscohealth.com. Make sure you check out the cool videos too at kscohealth.com. That's kscohealth.com.
CBS News Update. Bill Cosby's chief accuser, Andrea Constand, told her story publicly for the first time at his sexual assault trial. CBS's Matt Piper.
She claims that in January 2004, Cosby invited her to his home after developing a friendship at Temple University. He allegedly had her take 3 blue pills with wine, and she claims within 20 minutes she was out of it and felt helpless. When she eventually woke up, she claims Cosby was touching her in private areas, but she was limp and not able to fight him off.
Attorney Gloria Allred represents a number of women who accuse Cosby of drugging and sexually assaulting them. She said she expects rough treatment from the defense when Constand is cross-examined.
I expect a lot of potential bullying. That's how some people may see it by the defense. Vigorous attacks on Andrea Constand and also on her mother, if her mother testifies.
CBS News Update, I'm Pam Coulter.
Wow, I'm standing outside the Staff of Life Natural Food Store watching shoppers buzz in and out like bees at their hive on a hot summer day. I'm wondering, what do all those shoppers find at Staff of Life they can't find at the big box store? Let's ask.
Tom, I've been shopping at Staff of Life since they first opened. It's always good. Good prices, good selection. You always see people you know, like you.
Hi, my name's Kalila. They're wonderful people, and I like to give my business to the people in my community. They have a good meat department. They have a great produce department. I mean, you can't find anything like this. It's for me that it's very satisfying to shop here.
Sharon, Santa Cruz. Staff of Life has the best food. I get fresh everything I need. They have a lot of things I can't find anywhere else.
Think local first and eat local first by shopping a genuine Santa Cruz tradition. The original, locally owned Staff of Life Natural Food Store at 1266 SoCal Avenue in Santa Cruz. If you can't find it at Staff of Life, maybe you don't want to find it.
Welcome back to the Dr. Future Show. So, MZ, what do you think of Apple's plans to not allow you to text while driving?
I didn't hear about it. I missed. You must have talked about that before where I was listening. But
yeah, you're talking.
Like,
go ahead.
Yeah, just to prevent you from doing so. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out what to do about that.
There are workarounds.
Yeah,
you got to watch that video, Michael.
Yeah, but it's also, if you've ever used the app called Waze. Waze was the first one that I saw ever pioneering this, where just because you're driving, they can tell you're driving because, you know, the phone always knows if you're jogging or driving or anything.
Well, they're talking about if you're in CarPlay mode.
Right. And so Apple is adapting a similar system where they use their apparatus, I don't know. They
CarPlay app.
Bluetooth or CarPlay to figure out if you're driving, and if so, then they offer you this option to turn off notifications for your car, and they assume that you're going to do that, and you can opt out if you say you're a passenger. So
Yeah, so you have some control over it. But the idea is that you can put it on, it'll send an automatic message to someone telling them you're driving right now, and you'll get back to them.
Right.
And it won't it won't interrupt you. It won't send you any text notifications or any news updates.
However, someone can bypass it by putting an urgent on the message, in which case it will get through to you.
Or you could just turn on Do Not Disturb.
Well, that's the old version. This is Do Not Disturb driving.
Yeah, it's
Special
the new
feature.
version of Do
Right,
Not Disturb.
something like that.
It's
So
Do Not
that's pretty good.
Disturb.
Well, yeah, in this world,
Auto.
so many dangerous situations where texting has resulted in tragedy.
Yeah.
So anything that can be done to fix
Yeah,
that.
apparently there are like 8 deaths a day that are directly attributed to distracted driving.
Yeah, well, it's rapidly going towards autonomous, so it's a transition period. It's hard to avoid because it's so addictive. And believe me, once we're all sitting in autonomous vehicles, we're going to be looking at our personal screens even more.
We'll all be passengers then.
Yeah, you'll see. For better, for worse. Hopefully better.
All right, so listen, we have some really interesting headlines in the medical field, some really breakthrough stuff. You ready for that?
Yeah.
I sure am.
Okay. Well, first of all, there was that gene-based therapy that my brother Norm went through.
Yes.
Yeah, with
and it was quite successful, thank God.
That's right. Well, apparently that same approach, the gene-based therapy that engineers immune cells to help patients cope with blood cancers, they're now gone to a new type of cancer called multiple myeloma. And there's over 30,000 cases of multiple myeloma occurring every year. And this affects the plasma cells that produce antibodies that fight your infection. So right now we have about 70,000 people in the country that have the disease, and half of them are expected to live 5 years. That's the current diagnosis. So this new gene-based therapy seems to be very effective with that. They did a study of 33 out of 35 patients suffering from it, and 33 out of 35 they had a major reduction in the cancer or even full remission. The researchers, this is impressive, by any standard. 33 out of 35 improvement. So maybe we do have a handle on more and more types of cancer now, and that's really great news. It
is
amazing.
Yeah, there's a new headline that says medical marijuana is found to have another benefit of killing tumors. They're recommending marijuana after the chemotherapy as a way to kill more tumors faster.
There's a big study on that?
Yeah, it's a British study.
So there you go.
University of London.
So we're getting more and more handle on cancer as a problem, something that sucks up our attention and time and money and suffering and all that. It's starting to go away. So
I just hope we can get all the medical professionals to get on board with the medical cannabis.
Yeah, well, that's a funny thing too, because that's basically a weed that has medicinal qualities that is available whether it's legal or not, because it's a weed. Right? It's just, that's what it is. It's supposed to be here. So the thing, when we embrace it, it's even better.
Well, we didn't even know about the endocannabinoid system until the 90s. 1990s.
Another in the medical thing here is that this Ben Fuchs should know about. There's recently been found that a common antioxidant could slow symptoms of aging in human skin, and not just temporarily, but permanently.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah. I mean, it's commonly available material that University of Maryland researchers have found. Inexpensive, safe antioxidant chemical. It's called methylene blue. Methylene blue. It slows the aging of the human skin based on, Isn't that wild?
And it sounds...
Whoops.
It sounds so much like other kinds of meth. I mean, it makes me think of Breaking Bad, right? But it's not that. It's really just a blue dye that affects the nucleus of a cell, and it identifies dead cells and allows the medical profession to differentiate them from the live ones.
To see them under a microscope. You stain cells, and methylene blue is absorbed by the nucleus. That's how it's been used in the past. Now they're finding that it creates your skin staying young, actually reversing aging. Reversing aging.
Wow.
In the skin.
Well, how about the inside? Just because it looks good on the outside, are you still okay on the inside? Or
well, obviously more research is needed to look at the
more
long-term
marijuana
results. But anti-aging potentials of methylene blue are phenomenal. I mean, maybe not as great as marijuana, but they're phenomenal. So that's news. I was excited about that breakthrough this week. And also this was a very curious one. And you know how the big problem in antibiotics now have created resistance to antibiotics, so that they don't work as well.
Yeah.
Well, a new antibiotic that is actually an old one can eliminate the global threat of antibiotic-resistant infections.
Oh, cool. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah. It's a group at Scripps Institute down south, and they have a way to structurally modify the antibiotic called vancomycin, I think it's called, vancomycin. And that's a pretty well-known antibiotic.
Vancomycin.
Vancomycin, I guess. Vancomycin, to make an already powerful version of it even more potent. And they're saying that this could be a big breakthrough because vancomycin works 3 different ways to kill bacteria and
the bacteria can't figure out how to neutralize it?
Well, no, bacteria quickly figure out one way or maybe 2 ways, but 3 ways is too complicated for the current bacteria to figure that out.
And the other strengths of this breakthrough is that not only is this very strong antibacterial, not only is it very strong, it also lasts much longer, and it also requires much less of a dosage. So they've really
sounds like it'd be
improved
great
it a
for
lot.
pneumonia.
Yeah,
pneumonia would be a good test on that one.
Ironically, it's been prescribed for over 60 years now, and bacteria only just barely developed any resistance to it. It's like magical in terms of the world of antibiotics.
Mm-hmm.
So now we'll see. Now a little third modification, and hey, we have something that could last for a very long time and might finally solve that whole antibiotic problem. So there you go. Unless it evolves some super bug as a result of this that takes it to a whole nother level of complexity. Who knows? But hopefully not.
That would be terrible.
Yeah, wouldn't it? Yeah. Whether or not it leads, but it's going to lead to something else once we have that solved. The idea is that hopefully something that's better for all of us.
Can I read a little bit about this?
Oh, yeah. And the other drug-related news here, we have a little medical marijuana update from Taylor.
Yeah, it says, in other words, not only can cannabinoids relieve the frequent nausea experienced after a chemotherapy session, but also, if taken after chemotherapy, not before, after chemotherapy, they can increase the cancer cell killing effects of the chemotherapy and decrease the growth of new tumor cells and tumor-feeding blood vessels. Taking cannabinoids before chemotherapy was significantly less effective, as was smoking marijuana. The therapy involves highly concentrated cannabinoids.
Okay, well, thank you.
All right, so finally, chemo and cannabis can play together in the healing arena.
Just the right time and the right dosage.
Wonderful.
That's
now, may
fantastic.
I ask a personal question of all of us?
Yes.
Sure.
Who in this group is a pothead?
I don't think any of us are potheads.
I resent
think we're
that.
pot positive.
I resent that inference.
I mean, that's a 70s term. It's so outdated.
I resent the implication.
It's been refined to a masterful.
Well, I'm not. I mean, I've smoked pot, and in a controlled atmosphere, if someone offers some to me, I'll take some. But I eat too much and get too fat.
Yeah, but there are other ways. There are edibles, and there are other types of marijuana that won't do that. They won't make you hungry.
Really, it all depends on whether or not you feel the consciousness that it delivers. Whether or not that's something you get as a positive experience or not.
I was getting an F in some college class.
Yeah.
Until I smoked some pot, I think this was at Berkeley, and then I wrote a 2-page paper, and then I got an A.
Oh,
all right.
For the whole class. So it definitely can, it can definitely have good effects. And there were
That's
no
your-
negative effects.
That's your anecdotal proof.
Yeah, yeah. The other thing that I did at Berkeley when I was a student is I took a bunch of pep pills, not a bunch, some pep pills, when I was flunking in statistics, and it made it so that I got an A in statistics.
Yeah.
But I felt so depressed that I wanted to jump off one of the bridges.
Oh, it's a slight
Yeah.
side effect.
We're glad you didn't.
Yeah, at least you passed your test, though. That was good.
Yeah.
All right, folks, Dr. Future Show. We're going to go to our next break, Michael.
Yeah.
Talk to you later.
you
We'll
hold
be
on?
back.
Yeah, hold on if you like.
Yeah, keep
I
holding.
got something on the
We'll be
NSA
back.
here. I'll listen to.
Top ways to help out the San Lorenzo watershed. Take chemicals to the waste disposal center. Don't flush medications down the toilet. Be careful of walking on unstable ground next to the river to prevent erosion. Pick up after your pet and throw the waste in the trash. Don't wash your car in a driveway. Instead, go to a car wash. Don't litter. Pick up your trash.
Get your car repaired to prevent oil leaks. Plant native trees to prevent erosion.
Remember to recycle. Brought to you by the San Lorenzo Valley Middle School Watershed Rangers, San Lorenzo Valley Water District, and the Coastal Watershed Council.
It's our San Lorenzo watershed. Protect it.
Get fired up for the coming barbecue season with a quick visit to Toque Blanche, the former Chef Works store on Pacific Avenue in downtown Santa Cruz. At Toque Blanche, you will find everything you need, from barbecues to cutlery and tableware, to reign supreme at the barbecue this summer. We're Gourmet Retailer's National Kitchen Retailer of the Year, and you are guaranteed a thoroughly enjoyable shopping adventure at Toque Blanche, 1527 Pacific Avenue in downtown Santa Cruz, or mytoque.com.
Captain Dave Michaels here, inviting you to join us for some fun aboard Flight 1080.
Flight 1080, 180 minutes of Mach speed talk radio.
The ladies love the crew on Flight 1080.
I listen to 1080 so I can hear the same exact traffic every day.
Flight 1080, where you can unload your baggage for free.
And I listen because it's the only station that comes in. Flight 1080 for your last choice in radio.
Flight 1080, keeping you lifted through your afternoon rush hour.
Monday through Friday, 4 to 7 p.m., right here on KSCO.
Okay, welcome back to the Dr. Future Show. And we have Taylor Barcraft in the studio. And MZ, you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay, good. We have another piece that just might affect some of the little soirees we throw in KSCO SF land here.
Okay.
One of them was in the Kurzweil AI newsletter, of all places, and it's about food, one of our favorite topics.
It's true.
About what?
Everybody
Food.
loves food.
It's about pop-up.
Oh my God!
Yeah, food, man.
I have a thing to say, but what's
Shape-shifting food.
Yeah, it's pop-up shape-shifting food.
Just add water.
Just add water, and whew, it pops up. Gelatin sheets that transformed into edible 3D shapes when dunked in water.
Now, is it protein or it's probably carbs that makes you fat?
Gelatin.
Well, they're just trying to get the concept down right now. They'll probably play with
Jell-O.
the materials, but right now it's kind of a gelatinous material that becomes solid. Flat sheets of gelatin.
It's your self-control, Michael.
Starch and gelatin. They sprout into 3 dimensions, like macaroni and rotini, right? Or they could be a shape of a flower or something entirely different.
Sea monkeys.
But the idea here is that if these become really edible, they can ship them flat, and then when they go to the consumer, they morph into their shape when you put water on them. So
well, it's like BTT. It's like Beyond Tangy Tangerine. They saved a lot of money, and when they came up with that rehydrating the powder business.
I am so fond of the rehydrated BTT powder, and what a great way that is to take your multivitamins.
Well, wait a minute. What is that exactly? How does it differ from just adding water?
Well, no, it is just add water, but you're adding water to vitamins and minerals, not gelatin.
I see. So it's a healthy water.
Right.
mix.
Just add water.
Fluid.
And it doesn't take on cute little 3D shapes. It's a
Okay.
drink.
Well, I guess that would be another element here, is that when you add this material, it creates these shapes. Now, if they were really healthy materials, then yeah, that would be the next level. But in this piece, they're saying that this drastically reduces food shipping costs.
Only
because
for
edible
that
film-
kind of food.
Right.
Yeah, because you can stack films, and ship them that way, way more, and then more at the end. So they did calculations, like for macaroni pasta, for example, and if you pack it perfectly, it will end up with 67% of the volume as air. So in the future, the shape-shifting food would be packed flat, and 67% of the space would be saved right then and there.
I love it.
Yeah, and something about gelatin that naturally expands when it absorbs water. It can expand to various degrees. So playing with the whole gelatinous.
Well, it's like packing material that the boids will eat. You got to be careful about disposing of it properly, because when the boids eat it, it expands in their crops and they pass away.
Yeah, birds are very clever too. I know when I got some fruitcake, Claxton fruitcake in the mail at Christmas time. Somehow, the delivery man left it outside, and the ravens discovered it, and they poked exactly where they would get the choice piece of
it was
Claxton
a Christmas
fruitcake.
present. The crows assumed it was for them.
3 layers of packing. And how do they do that?
Wow.
Yeah.
They have X-ray vision.
So this is a form of DIY food that's coming out now, and people will have 3D printers printing food as part of the
Printing
Come on.
Yeah, print edible food in the kitchen. It'll be like a kitchen
Oh,
device.
yeah, sure.
They already do.
And they do that. It's 3D printers.
Now, Taylor, you know anything is possible.
Yes, and food printers are
Yeah, but
definitely
there are
possible,
things. Yes,
Mr.
but
Taylor.
they're crazy.
Why? What's wrong with being able to have a nice
the
variety of
experience
food
going to the
without having to
Trader
go to
Joe's
the store?
and getting the food, the nice food?
Well, you still could go there, but you get better food. You don't have to buy macaroni
You
anymore.
think they're going to print the food at Trader Joe's?
Well,
What are you going to go to the register and say, print me out a broccoli?
Eventually.
No, come on. We'll be dead by then.
No, you
Thank
will,
God.
Look, you will not just be able to instead of having to kill an animal for a meat, you can just grow a steak.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, or you just have the piece that you want. And you could be a zebra. It doesn't really matter.
Your imagination is limitless.
This is not that far off. I could go further, but I don't.
We only have 9 minutes left.
9 minutes left. I can't go. But I'm saying the food. So food is really. So if we do a party in San Francisco at KSCO SF, we can have a 3D food printer there, or a company there that specializes in that.
Actually,
and they
I
would be
think
one
what'll
of the strange
happen,
attractors
since
for the
this
party.
3D printed food is gelatin, which is really good for containers. That's kind
Ice
of like
cream.
the capsule part of a vitamin is made of gelatin. And
Correct.
that's the part you want less of. And so what we'll do is we'll 3D print the gelatin cup, and then we'll pour the tangy tangerine into it. And then you
Gelatinous
can
cups?
drink- yeah. Then you can drink your tangy tangerine and know that the cup is edible if you're still hungry.
You've made me so hungry and thirsty for tangy tangerine. I'm going to go get some right now.
Okay. That's your cue. Everybody's
it's such
cue.
a delicious flavor. And who in the world doesn't like the flavor of tangerine? Nobody.
Well, nobody. No. As a matter of fact, if I mix it instead of with water, I'll mix it with orange juice.
You could do that. Or you could do what Charlie used to, at least he said he used to do. He used to mix it with vodka or gin.
I guess it depends on what time of day it is.
Well,
Yeah.
no, you get liquid marijuana.
Oh, listen to you, Taylor.
Oh, there you go. With your tincture.
No, they have regular.
I think this guy has discovered
fruit juice that's
cannabis
got
late in his
marijuana
life.
now.
Yes.
So, Taylor, were
Yeah.
you a pothead if you're not
No,
now?
I think he's more.
No,
of a-
I've never been a pothead.
It's a recent thing. He only started at 65 or so, right? I mean, he's
Once it became
No,
legal.
I did it earlier in life. and
not
I
as
only-
much though, right?
Pretty frequently, and
Yeah.
earlier in my life, in my 30s or 20s and 30s, maybe.
Like when Jobs was.
No,
in
but
his,
I stopped for a long time and only resumed about a year and a half ago when I got a license for medical marijuana. You can
Yeah.
get your license online now for $30. You don't even have to go anywhere anymore. It's
And
only
next year you won't even need a license.
Well, yeah, but there's different pricing, different taxing. So
Well, that is an interesting point because I'm dealing with less rules with drones right now too. The FAA has less regs all of a sudden where you don't have to register your drone at £0.5.
oh, that's fantastic.
And I said, well, why are we getting less regs? Well, maybe because Trump is into less regulations. Maybe there's a connection there.
Yeah, yeah.
Right,
I
so-
love Trump. Don't you, folks?
Now you can't be serious.
No, he is definitely.
Oh, I'm dead serious. I love the guy.
He's a stark raving liberal, believe me.
He's the best thing that could have ever happened to this country.
Yeah.
That's a joke, right?
No.
Taylor, you obviously don't listen to KSCO when you're not in the studio.
Well, no, he can't be serious. I mean, this guy's a lunatic.
Well,
it's okay for you to have your opinion, and we want.
Well,
to
we
have-
know that Steve Bannon is the
My
real president
opinion-
anyway, so it doesn't matter what Trump says.
He's the best thing that ever happened to the country. That's my opinion. My opinion is no more weighty or valuable than your opinion, but that's my opinion, and it's an honest one. I think Trump is absolutely the greatest thing that ever happened.
well, there are
Does he
things
take-
like less regulations that look useful.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
he's a stupid, idiotic thing.
And
But
did
is
you
it-
like
is it-
his trip to the Middle East, Michael? Were you
Yes.
impressed by his recent trip to
Yes.
Europe?
Yes.
Well, how
Were
about the
you?
way he treated
I
the mayor of
was.
London, Michael? Did you like that?
Right.
Well,
Yes, I like that too.
You did?
Yes, I like a lot of things that people that politically correct Santa Cruz people don't like, but I'm proud to say it.
Are you happy about his?
And I don't like them less because of it, but they like me less because I say my opinion. But I
Yeah.
don't care.
You like the fact that he tweets?
I love it. I think it's great. And most people, even conservatives, hate the fact that he tweets. I think it's wonderful that he sticks a thumb in the nose at the media that he has zero respect for, and that's the way he does it. He goes directly to the people through Twitter, and I think it's wonderful.
Boy, you're
I
a
think
real
it's
sweetheart, Michael. I didn't know you had
Yeah.
that side.
Yeah. Well.
Well, do you think less of me now?
No, I think more of you. I love you, Michael.
Good. Okay. Because
You're
a
the
lot of
best.
people think- because a lot of people, but I think what makes this society great and what makes America great is
Yeah.
that it still has freedom of speech.
Mm.
And if you disagree with me, great. Let's have a discussion.
Yeah.
But am I gonna think less of you because you like someone very much that I have nothing but contempt for? No, I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna have a discussion with you if you want to. Most people don't want to. Once they hear that I like Trump, they wish that I would die.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
no, we don't want you to die.
Well,
we need this station.
I agree that it's really important that people learn how to express their opinions and to do it in conversations where it's not about shooting the other person in the leg. It's about really respectfully agreeing to agree or agreeing to disagree and state why you believe what you believe. That is the root of freedom of speech. That's how America keeps our democracy clean and useful.
And
Yeah.
And regarding Trump, one of the things I do like about him for sure is that he goes for real connections with other people rather than just by the what the reports say you should think about them, or you know what I mean. He goes for the direct human experience.
We're honest with themselves.
Yeah.
We'll find some good in Trump where they otherwise can't stand it.
Yeah, I said we watched the first season of The Apprentice, every episode. So
We watched more than the
Yeah,
first season.
that's
We watched a
true.
lot. So
we kind of.
I like the way that a leader puts people on a pedestal and makes them defend their opinions, and Trump does that. So,
And it's worth going directly to whitehouse.gov just to see what they're putting out directly.
oh, if you want to know,
Yeah.
what the media is not telling you, oh boy, it's really a stark reality check when you go and listen to what directly is being said in these press conferences and these speeches, and then you listen to what slivers are being hammered out by the news, and what a different story it is. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry I mentioned him.
People are hounding me every minute to drop CBS and drop all the news altogether because none of it's real.
Well, we live in a consensual illusion. That's where reality
Hey, even Google puts its thumb on the scale of what people are searching for. I mean, the truth is, media is all about people repeating the stories that they want to hear and want to believe. And you can't help but be opinionated. So it's important to learn to be discerning in your opinions.
But it is all really quite relative, as one of our scientists once said. So,
like incest.
What? Hey, you know what? We are
My
at the end of the
favorite
show,
sticker-
MZ.
Thanks for having me on, you guys.
What's your
years ago said incest is relative.
Well,
Guess what?
See you guys in September.
Yeah,
the
okay.
music.
Take care. All right, thanks, Michael. Thanks, Taylor. Appreciate your presence.
Thank you.
And Mrs. Future.
Thank you both.
Thank you. And we'll see you in the future.
This is
Thanks for being here.
KSCO Santa Cruz. See you next week, Dr. Future Show.
Future's calling me. Future's calling me. It sets me free.
From the Bill Cosby sexual assault case,
The accuser in the trial takes the stand.
opioid overdoses hit central Georgia.
We need to know who's putting this poison in the community right now.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition. I'm Dave Barrett. But today was the first time that Bill Cosby's accuser was to tell her story in public, in court, in Norristown, Pennsylvania. CBS's Matt Piper.
I wanted it to stop. That's part of the testimony accuser Andrea Constant gave on the witness stand on the trial's second day. She claims Cosby gave her 3 pills and wine at his home in 2004, saying it would help her relax. Within 20 minutes, Constant says she was passed out, numb, and when she came to, says Cosby was groping her all over. Cosby's attorneys question why it took her a year to eventually tell her mother and go to police, and say she's given different stories over the years. In court, Cosby lays his head in one hand much of the time, also needing help walking in and out of the chamber.
In central Georgia, there are deaths and a lot of ER visits in the past couple of days. CBS's Bill Rakoff says there are some very dangerous pills out there.
Georgia health officials say the overdoses started within the past 2 days involving pills laced with dangerous opioids.
It's being sold on the street as Percocet. However, when it's taken, the patients are experiencing significant and severe decreased levels of consciousness and respiratory failure.
That's Navicent Health's Dr. Chris Hendry.
Right now, the most important thing is for the community to be aware that this is out there and is a risk to their health that is potentially lethal.
As many as 4 people have died from overdosing on the drugs. Bill Rakoff, CBS News.
Overseas, a man with a hammer yelled, "This is for Syria," as he attacked a Paris police officer this afternoon. Happened outside the Notre Dame Cathedral. American tourist Kellen Gorman was about to go inside.
They were just checking my bag. I was the next one to come inside, and there were 3 gunshots. I turned around, and there was an assailant on the ground.
That suspect shot in the chest. The wounded police officer's injuries are not life-threatening. On a day of another terror attack, to be an American in Paris, Kellen Gorman gathered her thoughts.
I think in America we're able to ignore it a little bit more. And it seems much closer to home being here.
Stateside, ex-FBI Director James Comey 2 days away from facing the Senate Intelligence Committee.
A source familiar with James Comey's thinking says the former top lawman does not intend to say it's his conclusion that the president obstructed justice. But Comey is expected to share details of his private chats with the president, wherein Mr. Trump asked him to drop an investigation into Michael Flynn, his recently fired national security advisor. Mr. Trump was asked if he had a word for the former FBI director, whom he dismissed 4 weeks ago.
I wish him luck. Thank you, everybody.
Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, the White House.
The Dow lost 47. Now this.
A few years ago, my wife and I went shopping for amazing quality luxury bedding we could actually afford. And what did we find? Nothing. Hi, I'm Scott Tannen. Missy and I started Boll & Branch because we want you to be able to afford the best bedding in the world. By cutting out the middlemen and only selling online at bollandbranch.com, our award-winning sheets cost less than half of designer brands and are twice the quality. Every set is crafted from 100% organic cotton. They get softer and softer over time. That's why we have thousands of 5-star reviews, and even 3 U.S. presidents have Boll & Branch sheets. There's no risk. Try them for 30 nights. If you don't love them, send them back for a full refund. Go to bollandbranch.com today for $50 off your first set of sheets, plus free shipping when you use promo code SLEEP. That's $50 off plus free shipping right now at BollandBranch.com. Promo code SLEEP. BollandBranch.com spelled BOLL and branch.com. Promo code SLEEP.
20-plus Uber employees have been fired for sexual harassment. Tech expert Larry Magid.
Uber has had a number of complaints about sexual harassment among its workforce and had instituted a look into the company's corporate culture, hiring former Attorney General Eric Holder to help them better understand what's wrong and what they should do about it.
A mistrial in North Carolina at the Word of Faith Fellowship trial. A juror in contempt will go to jail for 30 days. Jim Crisula.
The courtroom was stunned when the judge held 71-year-old jury foreman Perry Shade in contempt of court for bringing in outside legal documents during jury deliberations in the trial of Brooke Covington, the longtime minister of the Evangelical Word of Faith Fellowship Church in the western North Carolina foothills, allegedly led the beating of a gay member to, quote, cleanse him of his homosexual demons.
Army tripling re-enlistment bonuses, get up to $90,000 for re-upping for 4 years. It's the CBS World News Roundup.
Ransomware is software that can infiltrate your business through email, enabling cyber criminals to hijack sensitive information as ransom for your own data's release. Leveraging Barracuda email security with advanced threat detection can stop a ransomware attack in its tracks. As an added measure, Barracuda Backup allows you to recover your data without having to surrender to extortion. Crime doesn't pay when you protect your business data with Barracuda. Go to barracuda.com/ransomware to learn more.
This is Charles Husby. Olivet Nazarene University believes that an education unlocks a person's potential. They believe an educated person has a positive impact on his or her community. They believe that education is not something to be contained, but imparted to the world. They believe in you. Learn more at graduate.olivet.edu. Olivet Nazarene University. Where you are to where you will be.
More downsizing by Sears, which will close 16 of its namesake stores, plus 49 Kmart's, 7 auto centers. Most will stop doing business in September. Heading to college after high school graduation, Jason Brooks says JCPenney wants you to stop there first.
The struggling chain announced it's opening dorm shops in 500 of its store locations this week. The tiny 400-square-foot shops will carry things like mini refrigerators, bedding, laptops, and other items critical to dorm living.
He knew he would be a dad.
Do you think we need one more?
And for George and Amal Clooney.
All right, we'll get one more.
Today was the day. He's 56, a dad for the first time. In Britain, she gave birth to a girl and a boy, Ella and Alexander, doing well. Publicist says George Clooney's under sedation, should be okay in a few days. Time on the Roundup, 7 past the hour.
Finding great people to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's time to try ZipRecruiter, where 80% of jobs get a qualified candidate in just one day. How? Using powerful technology, ZipRecruiter matches your job to the right candidates fast. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, only ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/talk for your free trial. ZipRecruiter.com/talk.
This is Charles Husby. Olivet Nazarene University believes that an education unlocks a person's potential. They believe an educated person has a positive impact on his or her community. They believe that education is not something to be contained, but imparted to the world. They believe in you. Learn more at graduate.olivet.edu. Olivet Nazarene University. Where you are to where you will be.
73 years ago today, Americans and the British and forces from 10 other nations came ashore at Normandy, France. 160,000 troops on the beach on D-Day in World War II. Largest amphibious operation in history. Now, says Steve Futterman,
every year they come to a place where thousands of Americans died. Every day there are tours.
The first troops to land on the beaches would be engineers. They would.
Many come here for closure. This woman's father was part of the D-Day invasion.
It's not like I'm walking in his footsteps, but I feel like I'm in the neighborhood of his history.
Tom Miller's father was also part of the invasion. He came to the Normandy beaches in March.
You know, I guess I really wanted to see the place where he did that, and helped help fight for his country and did something that he believed in.
The most sacred spot for Americans is the U.S. cemetery, and every day, at the end of the day, they play taps as the American flag is lowered. Steve Futterman, CBS News.
And that's the World News Roundup for Tuesday, June 6, 2017. I'm Dave Barrett, CBS News.
You're listening to AM 1080 KSEO Santa Cruz, AM 1340 KOMY La Selva Beach, Watsonville. The time is now 4:09. We've got a quick look at traffic and weather. Starting off with weather, this evening we're looking at partly cloudy conditions. Lows should be around 51 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny with highs in the lower to mid 70s. Small craft advisory out on the Monterey Bay this evening. West winds 15 to 25 knots, becoming northwest 5 to 15 knots after midnight. Wind waves 3 to 5 feet and northwest swells 3 to 5 feet at 13 seconds. Moving on to traffic, Highway 1 southbound is stop and go from the Fishhook just about into Aptos before speeds pick up. Highway 1 from Monterey County into Santa Cruz County looking relatively good, both directions. Trouble-free for right now. Highway 101 southbound, Coyote into Morgan Hill, 10 miles per hour. Wow, look at this. 156 heading from Casterville towards Prunedale. Stop and go until you make it midway through that stretch. 475-1080 with your traffic reports, DM at KSEO.com if you see something that your fellow commuters should know about. 72 degrees outside KSEO studios. The time now 4:10. Headlines are up next. Susan Simon is standing by with those. Remember to check out KSEO.com for news, traffic, weather, podcasts, and more. Here's Susan.
Thanks, Dave. A special election is being held today in Seaside. Seaside voters will decide on two measures that were created to help the city work its way out of a $1.4 million deficit. Measure L is a half-cent increase, raising the sales tax from 8.75% to 9.25%. It's expected to generate $1.9 million annually. Measure G would place a 10% tax on businesses selling marijuana and would generate an estimated $300,000. If Measure L and G both pass, all of the money generated would go to helping to drop that deficit. Man convicted of kidnapping and killing Morgan Hill teen Sierra Lamar has been sentenced to spend the rest of his life in prison due to the crimes he's been convicted of committing. Back in March of 2012, 26-year-old Antolin Garcia Torres will never be eligible for parole. Lamar went missing March 16th on her way to school. Her body has never been found. The Senate has passed SB 185. The bill seeks to prevent the automatic suspension of driver's licenses for those who are unable to pay fines or fees for minor traffic tickets. It also requires courts to determine violators' ability to pay before setting fine amounts. The bill's author, Senator Bob Hertzberg, spoke about why the legislation is needed.
People who don't have the money to pay their fines shouldn't lose their license. They should lose their license if they're a bad driver. They should lose their license if they violate the law and don't show up in court, because you got to show up in court and you got to be responsible.
SB 185 states that your economic status shouldn't determine your access to justice and ability to make amends. In addition, any previously suspended licenses must be reinstated for violators who make a good faith effort to begin payment plans. And the time now 12 minutes after 4 p.m. More local news for you coming up at the bottom of the hour. For KSCO, I'm Susan Simon.
Hi, this is Larry from Bullseye Archery in Scotts Valley. I'd like to talk about people coming in with bows they've bought online and from box stores. A lot of these bows are not tuned and not set for you. We have a pro shop and we can tune them and set them for you. We charge $60 to tune your bow, and we'd be more than happy to tune the bows that you buy from these places. Or you could buy them from us and just have them tuned and you'll get it for free.
I'm Jeannie. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about our new range. We have French tuning, and we give lessons there, and we had quite a few people that really enjoyed our little range. It's only 10 yards, but it's enough to do whatever you need. We have all our supplies, and if we don't have it, we will order it for you.
Bullseye Archery is located in Scotts Valley at 5299 Scotts Valley Drive, and phone number is 831-346-6156.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Costa, host of the Costa Report, every Thursday at 2 p.m. My guest this week is a member of the National Radio Hall of Fame, Mr. Jim Bohannon, who'll be here to talk about why there's so much right and left-wing extremism in the media. Don't miss Jim Bohannon, Thursday at 2 p.m. on the Costa Report, right here on AM 1080, KSCO. Listen and be heard.
Join me, Ruth Copland, on Saturday evening, 8 till 9 for It's a Question of Balance, the show where we balance the intellectual with the creative, featuring thought-provoking conversations. Out and about with people on the street on different topics, and in the studio with inspiring local, national and international guests from the arts. Discussion and creativity, two of the most vital ways we engage with the world. I look forward to you joining me, Ruth Copland, 8 to 9 Saturday